They say when you wear Black Power Media gear, you can accomplish anything. You play any and every position. Coaching, to kicking, to receiving, to running and juking. And, oh, my goodness. Let's see that again in slow motion. Get off me. And you're going to have a lot of haters coming at you, but what you got to do is you got to shake them off, and get to your goal and accomplish it. And when that's done, it's a beautiful thing. I'm talking about going hard, extra, for that extra point. And when it's done beautifully, you're talking about touchdown. Oh, and the crowd goes wild and they're celebrating with you and everything. Man, let's see that again. Nice.
Black Power Media, baby. That's how we do it.
Now go to blackpowermedia.org and get you some of that gear. Empower yourself today. Yeah.
Now introducing your Earn Your Liberation crew, featuring Brother Diallo, Geechee Yaw, and Jared Ball.
Where'd that come from?
I don't know, man. It just hit me just as we were setting it up.
Man, you gotta warn us.
I think
you can't just be ad-libbing. We got a script.
I didn't clear it with the bosses. I'm sorry. I just got a little excited.
Man, I don't feel well. Ain't nobody got time for this. Stop it.
I'm trying to get amped, man. Since we on a Yeah, I was trying to get our Chicago Bulls intro on, you know what I mean? I know that's Diallo's lane, ball chasing in Chicago. And
I ain't seen or heard nothing about no. I can't even name a Bull. Since Derrick Rose left, I can't name one Chicago Bull player.
Actually, that's a good point. I couldn't either. Yeah, I couldn't tell you who's on the Wizards. Are they still in DC? Yeah, anyway.
Yeah, I in that way, about sports, I'm kind of like a Christian. I'm proud of my ignorance, and I stand on just how little I'm willing to know. That's
Diallo,
my, I guess, anti-ball chasing is my religion.
Diallo, since you're in Chicago, you gonna take your shot at Scottie Pippen wife next? You're next up.
Can I be honest with you? I got everybody that's in a marriage that's struggling. My secret for keeping my marriage strong is I tell my wife if she leave me, I'm gonna have a white stepmother for our kids.
Oh wow.
Yeah. I've heard stories about white stepmoms. They get it in, casserole every holiday. So she ain't threatened to leave me since.
Oh my goodness, that is hilarious. Yeah, that's hilarious. That's a pretty good threat.
Yeah, you get a liberal, progressive white stepmother, she will do so much.
Wait, so this woman is white?
All my
Scotty's ex is white?
Score. Yeah. What's her?
Well, somebody said she from North Africa. I think Ricky was telling me she from North Africa. So she the I don't know. She look white.
That's another thing. I know all the mess of sports. I know the gossip off the field stuff. I don't know nothing about stats and who's winning what, but I know all that mess. I know the ins and outs of Scottie Pippen's wife, and she's dating Michael Jordan's son.
Well, I got some better news.
And being North Africa, you hear they trying to expel Africans from North Africa.
Well, that has been an issue.
But there's a Black Lives Matter protest right now in Tunisia, and African countries have vowed to send charter planes to bring Africans out of Africa.
Oh, really?
For their own safety. Yeah. They're sending charter flights from sub-Saharan African nations to Tunisia.
No, for real, that's happening.
The president said that they're crime, drugs, bringing down the culture and the morale of the Tunisian nation. He made a public address. I mean, like on some Trumpian shit, And right now they got Black Lives Matter protests throughout Tunisia. So.
Are you serious? Are you playing with me?
Look it up. No,
I am.
And he's calling Africans migrants and invaders. Yeah,
they're the invaders.
No, well, we're native to this land.
Oh,
we're native to the United States.
Playing.
So Africans in Africa, maybe we're because black people are native to the Americas apparently. But anyway, yeah. Let's go back to joking. Let's go back to joking about mistresses and ball
Diallo, hold
chasing.
on now. You're not being fair. Come on now. I don't think. Look. Y'all not being fair, man. These people came in here and conquered fair and square. Okay.
Yeah.
And to the conqueror goes the spoils. So if an Arab invader of Africa wants to now say that sub-Saharan Africans are themselves the invaders, I think that's fair game.
Yeah, well, okay.
That's the rules.
But you know what?
That's the rules.
Well, another rule on
Tunisia's
top of that.
president vilifies migrants from sub-Saharan Africa. Migrants.
And sub-Saharan Africa is like a mythological place. You know what I'm saying? That's just like made up.
Oh no, man, Diallo, you out here spreading lies again. You're gonna get us banned from Twitch now, spreading this misinformation.
Well,
sub-Saharan Africa is a very real line that divides the pure, legitimate Northern African heirs to that territory from the impure, migrant, transient, thieving, crime bringing.
Yeah.
We know the rules.
That's how they do.
You come from the South, you come from the other side, and you darker, it's crime and you holding us back. President Kais Saied is openly mining a deep vein of discrimination and prejudice against dark-skinned people in Tunisia.
Yeah.
Migrants from Ivory Coast, the country's embassy in the Tunisian capital, hundreds of black foreigners in Tunisia. Even the language of the New York Times, the bastion of decent journalism, liberal
fake news.
Musa Usman has been hiding his family. The next day, 35-year-old Carson supported 2 children back home in violence-racked northern Nigeria. Wow. They're getting it in. Everybody's getting it.
Yeah.
Lost his construction job. No longer employs migrants who come to Tunisia illegally.
Yeah. Africans are illegal in Africa.
Immigrants in Africa. You illegals.
Yeah.
No, but if you could come here and say New Mexico is not old Mexico and old Mexicans are illegal. Oh, I love it. This is beautiful. This is a great way. This is perfect for Friday morning.
Yeah. And I always say every black Muslim got to carry this too. Because black Muslim, Islam is peace. Islam is the black man's religion. When Islam has been unrelentlessly persecuting African people longer than the white man. Muhammad got out in front of, cut the line in front of Jesus when it came to black persecution. And
hold on, Diallo.
They want to act like this type of stuff isn't going on everywhere where Muslim people have power and are able to assert their power. So
Arabs are not Muslims anymore than Arabs are not Islam any more than Islam is Arabs. Come on now.
Then why call it Allah? What was it? What is Muslim garb?
He didn't say he was doing this on the behalf of Islam and Allah.
What is a Muslim name then? Because how is Muhammad more of a Muslim name than Bob or Jerry? Because Muhammad's name was Muhammad before Allah gave him the mission. Was it not? So you ain't adopting Islam, you adopting Arab nationalism.
Look at President Kais Saied.
Why are black people changing their names to Arab names if it's just about peace and love? Because like I said, Muhammad was Muhammad before Islam was founded. So what is a Muslim name?
Diallo,
what is Muslim dress? What is a Muslim dress? These black people are out here draping themselves in Arab culture. Ain't got nothing to do with nothing supernatural. Ain't got nothing to do with no prophecy.
But
we let Muslims walk around pretending like they pro-black and that we should be respecting. I got as much respect for Islam as Islam has demonstrated for African spirituality and African mythology and folklore. I give as good as I get.
But he's doing, but Saied
look at that star and crescent moon.
He's wearing a Western suit. And he wants Tunisia to be a purely African country.
Because the ones in the traditional clothing Now them the ones.
I don't see. He's
real,
not talking on behalf.
Because ain't no racism in Saudi Arabia. Ain't no. Ain't what?
Tunisia is a purely African country with no affiliation to the Arab and Islamic nations. So, what are you talking about, Diallo?
Like I said, man.
He said it himself.
I thought I saw a star and crescent moon flag behind that man.
Well, that's just Tunisia. That's not. He said he is accusing the migrants of fomenting crime and violence.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
So Diallo, you ranting about the people or the government? The people on the ground or the government?
I'm ranting about the religion, the belief system, the culture. The culture. Their culture is and they got it. And even any honest Arab, any honest Persian will tell you. Just
what
like
I'm saying is
like racism ain't confined to the United States of America. Anywhere white folks go, they white folking. It's their culture. It's generations and centuries of persecutions and racism and colonization and atrocities. And then we gotta tiptoe when we want to call out atrocities. Well, I'm talking about the leader, not the people. If the people let the leader stand, you know. So shout out to the anti-racist Tunisians, but I mean,
that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. There's some anti-racist Tunisian that's
and a few good whites. Yeah, good. Yeah, okay. You know, I was like, oh yeah, there's this hive, this wasp, and they're full of aggressive, and it's stinging my children. Well, there are some drones that don't have stingers. Are you mad at the wasp hive or just the stinging wasp? Man, come on. We the only people that do that. You know, our oppressors are making carpet bombing and cluster bombs. Just everybody get it. But we are just with our words. They got weapons, indiscriminate weapons. We can't even speak indiscriminate, but they got indiscriminate weapons using against us. You know, when their oppression and racism is able to target just the bad blacks, and then I'll make sure to speak about just the good ones and the bad ones and distinguish. So if you want to be indiscriminate in your oppression, I'm gonna be indiscriminate in my denunciation. So you can go ahead and pick the good ones for them, you know. And while they walking around, kill them all, let God sort them out. I say denounce them all and let Allah sort them out. I don't know. Shit. You find me a good one, I'll shake his hand and send him on his way. What do you want from me? I don't feel well this morning. Got time for your mess.
So I do want to say thanks to everybody who has made their way over here despite this YouTube ban. I appreciate folks finding us. Twitch, we've been using Twitch, but I think we'll increasingly do so. I know I'm planning to personally. So we appreciate you, those watching on Facebook, Twitter, wherever. I don't care. Thank you very much. Please just remember you can support the channel in any number of different ways. You can go to blackpowermedia.org and find all those different ways. And if you can't support financially, just like, share, let people know we're over here on Twitch, you know, do all of those kinds of things. That's equally welcomed, as well as we make our way through this ban till, you know, 5 more days, I think 4 more days, something like that.
If Kalanji would stop posting them twerk videos, all that slackness.
Hey, listen.
Inappropriate for children.
Despite what Diallo talking about with religion, I'm doing the Lord's work like Master P, and I'm selling Snoop cereal. So if you want to buy some Snoop cereal, I got Snoop cereal. It's the healthy cereal, sugar free.
Geechee.
I'm doing the Lord's work.
Geechee. You know Jared don't like when we diss celebrities. You know Jared.
No, I'm saying I'm doing the Lord's work.
Our black excellent, our premier elite black aspirational black leaders. Jared, you know he gonna jump on you if you don't show proper respect to our
I'm not
elites.
Dissing the brother. I'm not dissing the brother. I'm joining in. They actually emailed me, and I think I'm gonna be the community engagement specialist for Snoop cereal brands, Brodus Foods, whatever you call the shit.
Oh, all right.
So just so folks know,
smirk off your face.
I'm not gonna play any of it because I don't want to get because I think these folks get pretty litigious. Although I don't know, we're on Twitch now. We're on Twitch. I don't know if it matters, but I don't have a clip ready. But this is just what we're talking about. Master P rolled up on the Breakfast Club the other day, and we were having a group chat about it in our Earn Your Liberation group chat, and all I simply said was Master P was clearly experiencing the trauma after losing his daughter, and Diallo directed that rant rage at me. I was like now I'm an Arab Muslim, now I'm a Tunisian president. Like I was like, all I said was he was clearly struggling with the trauma of losing his daughter, and Diallo was like, nah.
No, I did
so
not.
Listen. I'm a mediate. I'm a mediate right now. I'm gonna make y'all make up right now by giving y'all some more products. So we even got Snoop Rum. We got Snoop Rum, right? I got more products.
And he was
I got more products. Hold on. I got more. I got Snoop.
Wasn't he hustling his products as he
was? That was part of the trauma. He was selling the Snoop cereal, and
I got Snoop Rocks. I got Snoop Rocks. I got Snoop Rocks too.
He was doing this whole thing. He was there. I'm selling this. I got this. I'm not in the music game anymore.
And you sitting there with a handkerchief.
All I said was he was
clearly sitting there dabbing your tear ducts.
Listen,
while you listen to Master P's pain, and then you're gonna come and attack another working class socialist grassroots brother on behalf of the black elites. Okay.
I'm gonna need y'all to stop interrupting my marketing efforts.
Sorry.
Okay, for my conscious brothers, I got Snoop oil. So if you want to smell like the earth tones, I got Snoop oil. So yeah, we got products over here. We ain't into none of this back and forth with the black people. We got products over here.
But seriously, did y'all see that montage of Snoop products Snoop was selling? How he's in Bollywood movies.
Oh yeah, he's everywhere.
United Arab. I mean, who the real hoe? All that hoe shit he was talking was psychological projection. He the biggest hoe. I mean, anybody, he for sale. You know,
look, we saw it happen. Those of us of a certain age remember, and this isn't even, you could turn it into a joke. In this one moment, I'm not even dissing him because I can only imagine. I know what it was like when I was sitting in front of my case and when I wasn't looking at what he was looking at. But he was up when he had his permed hair and crying. And we remember those early MTV days. I think from that moment,
6ix9ine said he snitched.
As soon as he walked out the door, I'm sure the conversation turned quickly into let's get you on this right path of black capitalism and marketing and being the good friendly gangster that smokes weed in everybody's movies and cameos on everybody's track. And I get it. And I think ever since then, it's been clear. He's been like, I dodged a bullet, pun intended, and I am now fully embracing this money train. And when he is everywhere. I mean, he was
Did he stop with the anti-black propaganda? Did he stop promoting gangsterism and pimp?
Oh no.
And disrespecting
he just leaned in on smoking weed. No.
He was asked if he regrets all that from his youth. He said, "I don't regret shit, not one thing. I don't apologize for nothing, and I regret nothing." So while he's cozy up with Martha Stewart and then going in the studio promoting genocidal antisocial behavior to the black masses. Or not really even promoting it to the black masses.
I'm not
selling that imagery and selling that image of African people to the rest of the world. Anti-African propaganda. You know, and I don't know how it's wrong when Al Jolson did it, but it's okay when they do it.
I fully agree with you. I'm just pointing to that moment. I just remember that moment and I hear you. I hear you. I hear him. You know,
anti-African propaganda, which feeds and fuels and legitimizes anti-African legislation and attitudes perpetrated across the world.
And it was, and the flip side of that is that it's taken as an automatic good for the community, as Master P was saying in his segment, that selling, supporting Black businesses and Snoop cereal and whatnot was again extending the mythology beyond the selfish interests of the persons and people involved, and saying this is what's going to help the whole community. I'm on something new now. So when you buy my product and Snoop's product, oh yeah, get the ascot ready, because we're gonna take a walk down Roland Martin Lane in a minute.
You know, we was all supposed to wear ascots this morning.
Yeah,
y'all always set me up like this.
My bad. I left my ascot.
Y'all set me up.
Yeah, everything's at the cleaners.
No, to be honest, no. I actually do got ascots, and ironically, is made by Roland's frat brother. So I got ascots.
He used to sell. Roland used to have his own brand. Literally had his own brand. I don't know if he still does, but he used to sell his own mascot, ascot. Roland Martin.
Man, if I could give me a Steve Harvey zoot suit and a Roland Martin mascot, man, what could stop me?
Nothing, man. According to them.
Dr. Mango gonna stop you, because this.
Where can I get me a pastel zoot suit? Is Steve Harvey still selling them?
I have no idea.
Nah.
I need me a suit jacket with 17 buttons.
Nah.
Oh, but while we're on the topic of Snoop Dogg's hoism, pimping his image and pimping his name out to the world, getting pimped out by the corporations. Y'all heard of that 19
crimes? Yeah, 19 crimes.
19 crimes, where it's literally a wine company that promotes and celebrates the history of the genocide against the Aboriginal people of Australia and the criminal colonists that went there and committed ongoing atrocities.
And Snoop's on
that's not
bottle.
the wine you're drinking.
Well, it used to be just images of these white boys. Y'all should pull that up, that 19 crimes. And on the other, they got like all these genocidal Australian colonists on the image, and then Snoop. And I was mad because I thought Snoop was promoting more criminality in the Black community, but no, he's promoting criminality against Aboriginal people too. It wasn't enough to promote genocidal behaviors and attitudes of Black people in the United States. Now he's on deck to promote genocide and against
Cali
Aboriginal people.
Oh, and isn't that
that's not the red
treachery against the Crips? Cali red,
that's not the red wine that's not the red wine you're drinking, Diallo, right?
I was tempted, but I just couldn't. My Blackness would not allow me, because I drink red wine now. I'm on that end. I'm about that life.
Diallo 19 crimes in.
I had a bottle of red. I had a glass of red wine recently for the first time in years, and I really enjoyed it. I was thinking I might be making this switch over too, but I just like these beers, man. This I don't know, but yeah, this is so this is another. Share this tab instead. So this is another.
Yeah, and you see, it's promoting like one of these things is doing its own thing. One of these things are one and the same. Like how Snoop, they promote genocidal.
Who's this one? Who is that? Robert E. Lee? Is that who that's supposed to be? Who is that?
One of them, but these are all Australian criminals, Australian genociders. Because the 19 crimes were the
bottle ninjas.
The criminal offenses that you could commit in the colonies to get you sent away to the Australian penal colony. So the 19 crimes are people who were shipped to Australia, the Australian penal colonies, to claim that land in the name of the crown. So the 19 crimes and the men who committed the 19 crimes, but it was a crime in offenses against the crown. And they were given carte blanche to go to Australia to clear the land. And they went there and committed some of the most horrendous acts against the Aboriginal people in Australia. That is a wine company that is literally acknowledging and celebrating genociders. You know,
I'm telling you, the last movie that broke
Snoop
me
is on their payroll.
The last movie that broke me was Rabbit Proof Fences. That movie, I broke like a child. I was like, and yeah, so I'm that's horrible. I did not know anything about that.
Yeah, I mean, Snoop, man, he don't quit. And what the community, you know, the community say, hey, if you're getting paid and you're rich and famous, the black people, that's black excellence. More, you know, and so is your boy Dave Chappelle, is he gonna bring Scott Adams on stage now?
That would be fantastic.
At his next show, can you call him and ask him?
I'll let you know. I'll call him. Yeah. We be texting all the time, and I was like, Dave, what is going on?
I made sure Diallo kept your name out his mouth, and I checked Diallo when he tried to dish you. I'm like, he's like,
although I'm still right about that. I'm still absolutely right about that. But
and poor LeBron James, we can't expect him to understand that we under oppression. We got to go create a whole movement just to remind LeBron that he's black. And
I'm right about that too. I stand correct there too. I mean, what you were saying about that still makes no sense. But I mean, I'm, but okay.
Well, since LeBron saved his way to $1 billion, why don't he pay for Roland's network? How about let's make a segue into that?
Yeah, let's have black billionaires promote black. Yep, therein lies our salvation.
That is the solution. If you would just, I mean, like, go out here and get paid, Diallo, and then prove them wrong.
Where's did Marcus money? Garvey say, look to the east for the crowning of a black billionaire, therein lies your salvation? Didn't he say something like that?
I mean, he did ask where are the black Rockefellers, but
he said, where are your men of big affairs? He was talking about bureaucracy and infrastructure.
Well, I mean, he did say, well, okay. I mean, I'm not, but don't. That's not what he was. Down. That's back it up. Wait a minute. No, that's not. But wait a minute. That's not. But you're. That's not. You're not being fair to what he was saying. I mean, he was calling for big industry. He was saying black people take over the industry of capital. Right. Take over. Right.
He wasn't just talking about Lear jets popping bottles with models and launches.
No, that's not what I was saying. I never said that.
But that's what the wealth is now. You get rich so that you can earn your leisure. You don't get rich so that you can build a adjacent empire to challenge the white Western empire. What Garvey's vision of wealth is not what we're getting sold and buying into today.
No, I agree. I mean, and that's why I'm saying, like, I've never said that people who engage in various mythologies are doing it for the same reason. I mean, like I've even said in my own argument about buying power, Malcolm, Garvey, Du Bois, all at various times linked on to that claim that we're going to hear once again rebranded in this clip here, but for very different reasons. So I'm not saying they're doing it for the same purpose, but there was
they're doing it in a different era, 100 years ago, half a century ago.
Yeah, but it's the same argument. So, but that would be where I would disagree. Context. No. They're doing it in a different context. There are people to this day who are still arguing around black capital and business and buying power for the same. When
Robert F. Williams was talking about Negroes with guns half a century ago, it's totally different than the not fucking around coalition with guns, or the Black.
But it's not.
Now don't be dissing our ancestors like that. Okay, let's make a deal. I won't dish your celebrity.
You have to let's make a deal. You have to stop misrepresenting my arguments and cutting me off and I think we'll be fine. That should be the deal we make, because you're falsely equating and conflating politics and generations. So the not fucking around crew had its equivalents during the day of Robert Williams, but that's not who we're talking about. And there are a Robert Williams style Negroes with guns that exist today that is not the not fucking around crew, that would be a more appropriate heir to what Robert and Mabel were doing 150 years ago. Same thing here. There are black people who engage in mythologies of capital and buying power, who do so mistakenly, but do so under the politics of a Garvey, a Malcolm, a Du Bois in those various lanes, and that are doing that today, just as there were at that time, because Abram Harris and others have been pointing this out 100 years ago. There were those who were doing it, just like Roland Martin and others are doing it today. That is, again, conflating the call for Black pride with the call for Black capital and capitalism. So that's all I'm saying. That in each generation there are versions of each going on. That's my point. That's my point.
I just, like I said, a man encouraging capitalism to build industry and process Africa's resources, Africa's for the Africans, is different than these people telling us we can have luxury liners, our own private yachts, if we engage capitalism. So we could just let Garvey rest in peace.
No, but it's still, that's not what I'm, it's not a,
because
what are you doing? Nobody's attacking Garvey other than to say I disagree with that one element of his approach. That's all.
Oh yeah,
but that's not an attack. And I'm not saying that 19 Keys is Garvey any more than I'm saying the Not Fucking Around crew is Robert Williams. Okay. Right, good. Of course he
agree.
Does.
I'm glad you've come around to my side. Thank you.
What?
Hold on, I got a new drop for you. This is it.
And Geechee, you supposed to be neutral. Stop picking sides.
No.
I'm neutral. All right. So listen, I did request that we go through this entire 12-minute clip because I think it's full of gems. And it is Roland Martin doing his I am Garvey.
Also, if you like stand-up comedy, you can go watch his whole 2 hours.
This is just but
he did his thing.
But check this out. This is
all of these agencies and many of these corporations.
So he's talking, first of all, he's talking about ad agencies, and the clip that this came out on was Roland promises holy hell if corporate America ad agencies don't do right by Black media, by Black-owned media. That's what this is here.
Like again. I said, he's been a G since the ascot came off, man. The gloves came off with
he's underdressed on this clip, though. I mean, I know
because where's his money? Corporations better have my money.
He spent all his money at the Pandiera.
Wasn't that a song? Corporate America better have my money.
I feel like it was a different someone better have my money. I feel like ODB wasn't talking about corporate. He was saying somebody else better have his money. But Roland's got this. He's got the lavalier Mike T-shirt problem that I see that no one has still been able to solve in professional media. You can't have, if you don't have a collar, you wearing this always wrecks the look of the line of a T-shirt. So it's just a shame. It's not his fault though.
I mean, beyond that, he fills it out well though.
And many of these corporations that we deal with, they have been calling Todd, they've been calling Hardy Pelt, his co-founder, wondering what I was going to say tonight. They have all been worried. Here's the deal. If you are doing what you're supposed to do, why are you worried? See, if you actually are spending the money, you shouldn't be worried about what I have to say because there will be the results to actually show it. The fact of the matter is, for all of these agencies and all of these companies to say, oh, we're exceeding our goals, prove it. Show us the numbers. Show us who's getting what. Literally. Oh, now Roland, two of them. Roland, you know that we can't reveal who gets what. Why not? If you want us to actually believe that you're hitting the goals, be transparent. Because you demanded I be transparent with my numbers. You demanded I be transparent when it comes to your metrics.
Which again, so we got to read between the lines now. So
selling
just
y'all.
Real quick, if this is where my ego gets out of control, I will admit this, because I feel like this rebranding of the language is in response to me. That is my I'm sharing my private thoughts in this moment. That when he says, because the whole point here of what he's saying is the metrics that you require that I meet are demonstrating that I have a certain audience and that certain audience has a certain degree of buying power. And I even checked before we went on this morning. He still has on the Roland Martin Unfiltered page that reference from Nielsen about the buying power and the Black audience he's bringing to marketers. So this is what I'm saying is always the contradiction between the Black commercial press and Black audiences and the rest of society. They have to chase and make these pitches to white corporate America under the guise of Black progressive and radicalness and pride, so that he can deliver those audiences to those white corporations. Yeah.
Can we slide the word entertainment in there? Black entertainment.
What do you mean?
Like,
oh no, well, okay.
Because I feel like Roland is definitely doing homiletics and he's doing engage in suspense. Like, I'm about to call these white people out. Like he's doing entertainment right now, and I'm pretty sure he's reading a script or rolling off a script.
And so the reality that he's acknowledging is that when you're consuming this type of media, you are the product.
That's right.
You are his show is the hook and the line and the pole. You the fish, and the corporate products that you are to go buy. That's the fisherman. So they get out here and they're not out producing this content for the upliftment and education and empowerment. They're producing content to attract eyes so that they can sell those demographics to corporate advertisers. And you cannot, and any intelligent person would not assume that doesn't, well, let me use the industry term, that shades the content, what they're willing to talk about. So they're selling you to the very people they're supposed to be educating us how to fight it against. They're selling us to the very people they're supposed to be empowering us to fight against.
Diallo, it's okay. You can simply say Jared is right. You can say I'm on Jared's side. It's okay.
Yeah. I have no problem with that. I have no problem.
So
admitting when you're right.
but I think that's where the trick bag come in. So these corporations is funding media sources to maintain the dominant culture, but Roland is selling it to the Black community as if it's some liberating tools or some kind of freedom, ownership type shit, but he running the same play.
The Black business.
They're going to finance.
The same thing must apply.
Right.
No, go ahead.
No, I'm saying that he wants corporations to finance our upliftment and our rising up to replace them.
No, his, not our.
Oh, right.
Our ain't in there. That trickle down ain't gonna trickle down.
Well, that's another thing, right? Well, Black people love trickle down economics. Only when wealthy Black people engage in trickle down economics, Black people love it. We only hate it when Reagan did it.
Sprinkle.
Sprinkle
me, man.
It's the messaging, man.
When Ray does trickle down economics, we love it. But when Reagan do it, we hate it.
Hey, wait. Side note. You said Ice-T was the best rapper, but Sprinkle Me Man is the best rapper on the West Coast.
E40, come on, man.
All right, back to topic. Back to topic. I needed to slide that in. Back to topic. I need to slide it in. Back to topic.
Deuce revolver.
Because I'm simply sitting right here at 8:01. I'm over time on this, but at 8:01 on March 1st, 2023. I am unconvinced that all of these agencies and all of these companies are meeting or exceeding their goals, because I know how much money is in the marketplace. And if you're a company that's annually spending $1 billion on marketing and your commitment is 5%, where the money at? Because guess what? Essence can't eat all of it. Urban One can't eat all of it. Blavity can't eat all of it. And if I actually had to start naming companies, y'all, there are really only 5 major Black-owned media companies. Urban One, Essence Communications.
Don't say you.
Blavity.
Don't say you.
Black Enterprise. That's not 4. Tyler, who would you say is the 5th?
I'd say I'm the 5th. Urban Edge Network.
Okay, you got Urban Edge. You got Revolt.
On 303 million devices.
Okay, you got Revolt. Okay, that's now we're up to 6. All right, y'all, we ain't talking about a lot of companies here. All right. I know for a fact there's nobody in our space, 1 million YouTube subscribers, 100,000 downloads of the app, on
Jared,
3 major platforms and 24-hour streaming channel.
So explain to the people so when you think about the media set-asides to black media, explain to the people where those dollars can go up other than people like Roland Martin, his show, like print media and these other things. Like where could those dollars be going? Because like he said, most of these people said, well, we on target to meet our deadline to send minority set-asides, be it women, be it black folks, Asian, whatever. So who else is out there where Roland can't be? Well, Roland is kind of like saying that, oh, it's only a few of us out there, we're not getting the money. Well, maybe other minorities are getting the money. So what else is out there?
So honestly, I don't know the details of what these set-asides are or what arrangements he's specifically talking about. As we'll see, he ends up making a reference to the post George Floyd promises of corporate America. But those, when I ever looked at them, and I think when we ever looked at them here, it was never very specific in terms of it. So I think technically, and I could be wrong on this, but I think technically it could be any black-owned, in this case, media operation. So technically they could give to BPM, they could give to anybody that has, I guess, some sort of official corporate arrangement, documentation or whatever, nonprofit maybe. But they could also be giving, I'm thinking also that the numbers aren't necessarily, they don't need to be necessarily made clear either. So they could be giving more to Essence than he's aware of and just not giving as much to him.
Right.
And then I don't know that he's going to disclose or ever does disclose, because he doesn't in this clip, how much he was expecting to get and what he thinks his cut should be. He doesn't. But I'll just stop here by saying, so my main interest, at least, is just this desire to get that money. And then what does it mean in terms of the kind of content, to Diallo's previous point, that you have to create to make yourself attractive to these audiences? And that's what I think is
so real quick, Jesse Lee Peterson and Candace Owens could be.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, maybe not Candace Owens. I mean, to the extent that her operation is independent of the Daily Wire. So if she has a nonprofit version of her show or her own sort of intake process, I don't think they could give it to the Daily Wire per se and say, because you have a black host working for you, this counts. But I'm sure she's got some side hustle operation or her own whatever that could take that money in, and that would absolutely count.
Can we say who they is? Because we're like they don't give us. It's like, what is it? Boeing? Is it Raytheon?
No, specifically
Coca-Cola.
So specifically, he names companies that I'm assuming are ad and marketing agencies, but in general, he's talking about the ad buyers and marketers. So so to your point, he in theory could be talking about those particular companies, but I think in specifically he's thinking or claiming, I'm talking about the Procter and Gamble's, the people that are buying ad revenues as a part of their business for other businesses and agencies that do that kind of work. So
right, but then he would have to promote those agencies. So you're going to talk about the unacknowledged epidemic of type 2 diabetes in the black community, brought to you by Coca-Cola and McDonald's.
Well, he does. I mean, he mentions them coming up as his. So yeah, that is it. Remember, I mean, we played. I thought. I don't know what I thought last year when we shared that clip of him and his McDonald's Christmas special, where they had a brother in a full Ronald McDonald's outfit singing and dancing Christmas songs on Roland Martin's platform. So, I mean, doing like a Christmas gospel thing. I mean, it was one of the more, amazing updating blackface in McDonald's face coon events that I've ever seen. It was pretty remarkable. So he's but again, his argument would be, well, I think he makes it. I don't need to make it for him. We can keep going if you all are ready. But
well, I also want to say this.
Go ahead, yeah,
because this is my main problem. No, I ain't got no problem with an angry black man spewing vitriol on the internet. That's my thing. I'm into that. So he could come to our weekly meeting for that type of stuff. But when you rally the masses or you threaten to mobilize the masses of black people and target an individual or industry or state, you have to really identify how that's going to serve the masses. I see in a lot of these prominent blacks, or as Ford called them, leading blacks, who threaten to rally the masses on behalf of a cause when that cause does not have any potential to feed back anything positive or empowering to the masses. So if I'm speaking for myself and what my problem is, because I have several personal problems. Like, I don't like how Square Enix is managing Outriders on the Xbox One server. I'm very unhappy with that. But I'm not going to threat to bring out the people to target Square Enix and go and be like, yeah, you better listen because our people, we are. So these leading blacks, before they rally the masses, we have to start saying how, like he said, where's our money? We have to say as the masses that they're going to rally to go out and protest, boycott, or whatever he's going to get the horde of black people to do with our black consumer power, right? With our black dollars. He has to tell us this is how it will benefit y'all, as opposed to just how it's benefiting or harming him personally.
But I think that's the thing. So Roland is talking about how the corporations are disrespecting the black consumer and they don't respect the black consumer. But again, once they get that money, the black consumer ain't getting shit. But the same dumbass content ain't getting no jobs. He ain't talking about adding no jobs, no more opportunity, no grants, or nothing.
So we're gonna come to that though, because the Earn Your Leisure folks do that for him, and so it's kind of perfect that you said that, and we have it lined up in that way, because that is what's next. That's part of the trickle down economics that I think Diallo was talking about. And he's also acknowledging that black buying power and black consumption is insufficient, which is why he needs to make these appeals, because he knows that black people don't have, in terms of business and or consumption, don't have the ability to support his platform in a way that he wants it to be supported. So that's why he does what he does, both in terms of content and these clips here. And I should have done this before the show, but if I'm a little distracted, it's because I am ordering the new Ad Age. I'm trying to get the report right now, the latest report on the numbers, so that I can show the report to you right now. But I'll keep working on that in the background here. But go ahead. Yeah, absolutely. Go ahead.
One more thing, where you had mentioned the Daily Wire, which is an interesting source of revenue. A lot of these far right industries, they don't get corporate advertising dollars, because many multinational corporations don't want to be publicly associated with overt racism and fascism. So a lot of those groups are funded by Patreons, wealthy individuals,
also billionaires,
ideological, but not just billionaires, because it ain't Soros, because that's the only Soros is funding, where most of the billionaires are far right-wing fascists, authoritarians. So they get their money from these endowments, from these think tanks, and from these extremely wealthy individuals who bankroll the whole operation.
Peter Thiel, Prager, all of Dennis Prager, Prager
and
University, all of that.
Exactly. And they get tens of millions. The Daily Wire just offered up a $52 million contract to a YouTube creator.
No, I know. I watched that whole thing. Steven Crowder, they were going to pay.
Was like, it's not enough. Yeah. Right. Do you see the multinational corporations advertising on Daily Wire?
No, but that's what I'm saying, because they have billion. They do have billionaire right-wing money and all of that.
Right. So what?
So Jared, did you see when Roland quoted the 3 million black businesses with zero paid employees? Did you see that part, or it was another?
I'm sorry. Say that again.
When wrote on the show, he quoted that like black businesses had all these I guess 3 million businesses with 0 paid employees.
Yeah,
it's kind of like the stat that you have. Yeah. So,
but he doesn't say it correctly. Mm-hmm.
He don't. But what?
Yeah.
I'm saying
going to say we should. We keep talking about what he's going to say, and that. So anyway, we could play it and then talk about it, or we could not play it and talk about it and just talk about it.
I could just say it. I'm more Roland than Roland Martin. I'm the one with the ascot here. Nobody else.
I
can be the one.
Hit play. No, hit play.
Me, not him.
No, hit play then. Hit play. Let's go.
So who are you spending the money with? I'm confused. Where is the money going and how much? When folks start giving me percentages, that's always a way of saying I ain't trying to really give you the real number. Because if you're spending 1, 2, and 3 billion, then where is it? Pull up the graphic of Quibi. What do we do next? Here's what we do next. Black America, we're going to call this is what this show is going to do. We're going to call every single one of these companies that committed $150 million to Quibi before they launch, and we're going to say, where's our money? Discover, General Mills, T-Mobile, Taco Bell, Procter & Gamble, PepsiCo, Ab&Bev, Walmart, Progressive, Google, Anheuser-Busch. If you could commit $150 million to a digital platform that had no metrics, no data, no research, no numbers, all because Jeffrey Katzenberg launched it, well, how in the hell can you deny WVON has been there for decades?
See, this is what I'm saying. So this part says a lot of things to me as well. So this is again the false comparison to Jews and other communities that keeps being made that people do not seem to understand and being made so that black commentators like Roland Martin can claim some radical blackness and forethought that doesn't exist. The first and simple point is, obviously, they're not going to give you, Roland, what they gave him, or Jews can't, or black people can't do what Jews do because black people are not Jews. Black people have a very different and particular relationship that Jews and other communities don't have, so that we could start there. You're also not linked up with not only are you not Jeffrey Katzenberg, but you're not Meg Whitman. You don't have Meg Whitman, the former gubernatorial candidate, U.S. ambassador to Kenya. I didn't know that one. That's hilarious. Procter & Gamble. She's on the board member of Procter & Gamble. That's the main point I was getting at, and General Motors, because as we're gonna look at, I'm expecting in a moment when I get that pulled down that report, Procter & Gamble is not only one of the biggest companies in the world, but one of the biggest ad revenue purchasers, ad buyers in media. So of course there's going to be that inside track. And then look at who they're hooked up with: Walt Disney, Warner, JP Morgan, Alibaba. I don't even know what that is necessarily. A Chinese multinational technology company, Viacom, 21st Century Fox. I mean, you know, this and then this is even before we get to the specifics of the politics and the function of media within the society. Of course, you're not going to be able to do that. But instead of offering that kind of analysis, it's better to come back this way and present yourself as black and radical and progressive and fighting the good fight and challenging these folks to get that money. And
can I say something?
While creating customized content for them. Right?
And he's going to say that too. That's right.
But so real quick. So what is this actually saying about black businesses? Is it saying that they need white corporations to survive? And if one of our shining lights, Roland, is begging white people for money, so does that saying black business is not working in general? Like him as a black business owner, he's not even in control of his business, and he has to be beholden to these white corporations that's still not paying him. So he's doing that. He's doing the work for them for free or whatever cheap price that he's doing for it, because he didn't get this full share. So I feel like it's doing more of disservice, and it's shining a light on black businesses more. Is it than him calling these white people out?
Well, and another thing where he mentions WVON, which is a independent black-owned radio station here in Chicago, and that they don't get advertising dollars. I have WVON preset in my car, the talk of Chicago, and I just have to say it's reactionary as hell. When they're not promoting Jesus Christ as our salvation to the black community, they got on here, you know, coon fascists like Willie Wilson, you know, promoting Willie Wilson and the black mayor for Chicago, who said that the police should hunt down criminals like rabbits. You know, the violent Chicago Police Department that literally had for 3 decades ran a torture chamber to force confessions out of black people. And he's proposing, you know, unleashing and taking the constraints off of the police department to address the city's crime wave, which is crime wave actually created more so by the media than by the criminals in the streets. So, you know, he's literally, like, at the same time, he's again mobilizing the masses of black people to fight for funding for these reactionary media, black-owned media stations that perpetuate many of the problems. They don't solve, they don't offer solutions on the airwaves. They don't really address or get to the core of our problems in analysis, and don't offer any real solutions beyond give them more money and wait for salvation from on high.
Mm.
And anyway, all that is said, yeah, I ain't been called back. I went to WVON twice and they never called me back.
Anyway, I'm glad you made that point, because I did forget to follow up on that. That's a good point that he's saying, and this is sort of the point that he's also a representative of. He's saying, don't just give all this money to these white folks, give it to us. And the us he's talking about are these very kinds of black media, black-owned media. And by the way, I didn't get a chance to do it before today's show, but I just got sent the new podcast featuring, I think for her first time, Kathy Hughes in discussion with Questlove. And you talk about, and I know we're in a supreme moment of rewriting history of the past generation. And I have been aggressively aware of the damage this woman has caused over the last 20 years, 30 years.
Trying to tell people.
And now she's going to come back in conversation with Questlove as a superhero. It's going to be so. But she's been doing in radio. This is the blueprint. What we're watching here is the Kathy Hughes blueprint from Radio 1, going back a long way. And in fact, I keep bringing it up lately, but the one of the very first things that I did in working with Glenn Ford at Black Commentator and then Black Agenda Report was tracing how Kathy Hughes and Radio 1 were the primary culprits in removing locally based black reporting from black communities. So, what does that mean?
Ricky tried to argue me down that Kathy Hughes ain't had no power, and you know I won, so appreciate that. Thank you for agreeing with Geechee, Jared.
Oh,
that how powerful Kathy Hughes was, and how much access she had, and she pretty much was signing off and doing what she do.
Well, she had the power to do what Roland Martin is doing here. You have the power as
larger than Roland Martin too, and has more money than him.
Right, but the power is only the ability to collect ad revenue from corporate white sponsors to produce and project the exact same white-owned black art back to the black community. So she wasn't doing she wasn't able, it's not like she could have even if she wanted to, but she wasn't able to, her blackness and her womanhood had zero impact on the output of her media content. And that's largely because of the ad revenue that she wants to attract. And that's what Roland Martin is doing here. And that's what controls, at least in overt fashion, the content of commercial media. So that's anyway. Let's press on a little bit here.
How can you deny Cliff's ad agency? How can you deny this platform 4 years? I got 4 years of data. They had 0.
That's not true. So again, you can't say Katzenberg and what's her name and them didn't have any data. They have data. The data is when historically, when we create something, we can expect this amount of return, especially when we create it in this context. So he doesn't have data specifically to this Quibi venture, but he's got data going back much longer than that in terms of what he and others in those white, most elite media spaces can produce and expect and earn in return.
Let's be realistic though. You know, when we come to, we got data, when they write these rules, they don't give a damn about the rules they make. Like, white folks, you said this is what you're supposed to do to increase your credit rating and qualify for a loan. And then black people go in there and they do this secret shit where they have black people go in and apply for a loan and they check all the boxes and hit all the marks. And then the white people go in there for the loan and they got a meth pipe in one hand and a rusty box cutter in the other. And that's all they got for collateral. And they get the loan. So it's really weird in 2023, we still telling white folks their rules that they gave to us, telling white folks how they not following the rules that they said, that they told us we must follow. Like it's just weird for adult black people to still be talking about, you said you supposed to have this much data and you supposed to have all this 4 years, going back 4 years, and I had it, and then you still didn't keep your promise. You know, I signed the treaty. I stayed within my confines, and then you crossed the border. How are you not following your own rules, white man?
And now you're on YouTube with a "Where's My Money" shirt.
And that's why
y'all some weirdos. Y'all some weird. That's some weird shit to be telling white folks. Yes, white folks, don't follow their rules. They don't follow the rules they tell us. Or as Mos Def said it, if we start keeping pace, they'll change up the tempo.
And that's why, in part why I keep saying this whole argument that they make is fugazi to begin with, and that's why when Martin and others support this, and promote this idea of buying power, they're maybe mistakenly, but I feel like it's a willful complicitness in this projection of nonsense, because it's not real. So they know it's not real. They know black people don't have any money, but they have to project this nonsense so that they can pretend like they're attracting ad revenue that they think that they're going to get because someone, as you said, Diallo, is pretending to say, we're going to give you money if you do what we say you're going to do. And it's never going to work out that way. So yeah, I mean, it's right on.
I need the folks watching to understand you cannot be innocent bystanders.
And that right there, by the way, I'm sorry to do this as someone follically challenged, but this is right here why I just said you got to let it go. You got to embrace it and let it go. You just gotta shave it off, embrace the bald head.
No,
rock.
That's called a wisp. That's called a wisp.
Yeah,
and the ladies love it.
Do they?
The ladies, yeah, yeah.
That's hot
that
right there.
Wisp,
okay, my bad. Okay,
yeah. So
man.
you don't know.
Not me. I was like, you got to get that out of here immediately.
Get your Beijing when you're ready.
That's the kind of, you ain't allowed to speak on it.
And listen,
Geechee. You're not when we're speaking issues related to our community and our plight. Please do not encroach on that space.
And ain't nobody tell y'all to wear ball caps.
Don't encroach on that. Right.
That's because y'all was wearing ball caps when y'all was younger.
Listen, when you talking about
hitting the middle of y'all head,
when you talking about the issues that affect black men under 5'2" and the 5'2" and order community, do me and Jared come in and try to colonize that space and impose our views?
It sounds like some ableism and some shit that's going on right now. I don't know what's going on.
Oh, so y'all didn't turn being 5'2" a disability?
I mean, that's what it sounds like you trying to say. Like, I mean, you trying to say,
So y'all really okay, but I can't speak for you and your community. I'm just saying, don't encroach on our space.
I'm 5'9", and I bet you won't grab me. Play the tech.
Team Diallo all day.
You know what them dudes,
day.
the 5 short dudes, we're that 1.5 and 3/4. Y'all love to throw those.
I'm 5'9", 0.55.
Exactly.
Measure me in my boots.
And you ain't gonna
measure me in my Timbs.
Right. I've never seen a 5-footer ever just stop at, the hard stop. Y'all always got to throw in those increments. Stop playing.
I'm gonna go get those. I'm gonna go get those Kanye red boots, and I'll be the same height as you. So what's up?
Those ain't Kanye boots.
It don't matter. He wore it, so it's his.
I saw Lord Jamar did a whole thing. He was like, I gotta stop it. I gotta intervene and stop the community from wearing these boots. I was
Lord Jamar.
They're not.
What community is he talking about? The Native community?
His black community.
No.
Diallo. Leave.
Lord
don't
Jamar
start talking
is a
about
Native
brand Nubian.
American. The gods are indeed crazy. Lord Jamar is a Native American. He was here before when the white man came to the shore. He was already here.
Until he go on Skip Gates show, because once he go on Skip Gates like Don Cheeto, he gonna find out.
No, he ain't. He don't need to. He was here. Only 388,000 Africans came here, just a drop in the bucket. It's no longer brand Nubian. It's brand Cherokee, and so I don't know how he was in a group called Brand Nubian, and he's a Native American. But Lord Jamar is not black. Let's not let his community talk to him. He's sovereign national Native American.
Is that why Rod Digger's not doing the show with him anymore? Because that's
yeah. I mean, he's a Native American Muslim Nubian. God damn.
Wow. Wow. Anyway, but at least he's not 5'9 3/4
in this battle. Because see, you want your children higher. Pre-COVID, we had 2.6 million black-owned businesses in America. 2.5 million had one employee, doing an average revenue of $54,000. That means we only had 100,000 black-owned businesses that had more than one employee. 95% of all black-owned businesses in America do less than $5 million in revenue. Folks, this is about scale. Now, I'm going to close on this here.
This is
stars.
This is remarkable. I mean, this is because as we've covered here, I know it's been talked about elsewhere, and many have been aware for an extended period of time. Roland Martin has been part of this whole black business, black investment, support black this, buy black that, invest in black, the Wall Street wallet, and get your Bitcoin, invest, all he does is this. And then he comes back to read the accuracy of the situation, but to make the point that this is why I got to go to the white man. Because we don't have any businesses like mine that can trickle down, hire other black people. So I got to go to the most elite corporations and justify the nonsense content, the horrible economic analyses that he offers in particular. So I can get the real money, so I can do the work that will trickle down to you. This is a complete. I mean, when I watched this the first time, I mean, it was remarkable to me the way that they're able to do this shamelessly and with a straight face and with this air of tough guy talk. And as he's about to say here, if y'all don't do this, and I'm and I love, and even when they put these clips out, they do the Photoshop thing, and it's Roland Martin goes in, Roland Martin destroys this, Roland Martin. And it's such nonsense and complete confusion. So this is why, Diallo, I say we can't expect more from certain segments of our community, because this is the best of the analysis that they've been raised on.
And this is militant. This is militancy. So real quick. So He's claiming that black businesses going to be able to scale up as a result of minority set-asides coming to him and coming to other black businesses.
No, I don't hear it that way. I don't hear it that way at all. I hear him admitting what I hear him saying, see, that dude Jared is right, but I can't acknowledge that because then I don't get my check. But so in other words, he's not saying black businesses will scale up with the right amount of support. No,
he said this is about scale. That's what he said.
But what I'm hearing him say though is he's saying it's about scale. It's about the fact that black businesses cannot scale up unless they get this white investment. That's what he's saying, and only those who get that white, which is that's been the whole argument my whole time. That's the whole point. That's why you don't see black businesses, despite however many get made, ever rising to the level of competition, maybe except for one or two, until they get bought out by a bigger white company. Because that's the goal. So he's saying black businesses can never scale up
without the government and corporate. Yeah,
without white money coming in, without the state coming in, without the elite coming in, and instead of saying let's redistribute, he says no, because he does the black capitalist thing. Give it to me, and then I will take care of the community. And that's why 100 years ago, Abram Harris was saying the most vicious, vampires of the black community are these black capitalists. Now, I'm not saying I fully agree with that point, but that's why he was reaching this conclusion, because these folks keep running this hustle that is specifically to his, as he's going to say in a moment, customizable to his black audience in ways that no, white exec could do and get away.
Yeah, and we keep the Negro elites do it, and we eat it up. We keep eating it up. I call these people because, I think they're forgetting the fact that a lot of this did come as a result of mass struggle. These set-asides, the very concept of affirmative action set-asides and minority mandates and all that shit came as a result of mass struggle. And we have more than half a century of that. And I call these people ladder kickers. They'll mobilize. Like when he opened this up, he claimed people were scared of what he was going to say because he was going to, weaponize black people and aim the black community at these corporations.
Speaking truth to power.
And when a lot of these black people who in the 70s and 80s got that same, they got where they got, whether it's education, loans, money, status, positions within white institutions and private and public institutions, they kick the ladder down. And they were like, oh, I'm here because of my hard work, because of my talent, because of the sacrifices I made. So just if he did start getting this money rolling in, he wouldn't be answering no phones of any black activists. He wouldn't be having no grassroots or the very people he's calling on to target these corporations for boycott and protest. If he did start getting 6, 7, 8 figures coming through his media company, he would begin to behave just like all these he would be at the Met Gala wearing some, diamond encrusted ascot at the Met Gala. They kick the ladder over, and we never see or hear them again. So it is, like you said, a cycle that goes back over a century with black capitalists.
It's also ironic that if he's advocating for King and he's radical like King, then he could advocate for universal basic income, and then his listeners can give him some more money because now they got more money in their pockets.
Right. Or like you said, why would he advocate for universal income if he's getting Amazon advertisement dollars? Why would he advocate for universal health care if he's getting Pfizer dollars, or United Health dollars? How can he advocate for things that would undermine or undercut his revenues? He'll get on there and say, oh, we need more STEM investment in the black community so black people can get these jobs and go do coding for Amazon or go do work in research R&D labs for Pfizer. That's the solutions they sell us after selling us to the corporations.
John Johnson.
Hey, we could try a few more minutes of this. I don't know if we're going to get to the end, but or if we need to, but
I'd just like you to
Showtime.
No, go ahead.
No, I just like, how come every time you pause, it's that facial expression? Because it sounds like he can hear us. It's creepy, man. Can you cover that up?
HBO.
No, go ahead. Oh wait, my bad. I hit the wrong one. Did you go ahead? Do you want to say something undistracted?
Who, me?
Yeah.
No. That was
okay.
that. That's all I had to say, man. Hey, yeah, I ain't got nothing of value to say.
Netflix, Hulu, Peacock, all the streaming channels.
He said Netflix gave him the money.
Your emails.
He got 10,000. He said he got 10,000 from Netflix because he put some pressure on him. And I think he said he bought some lights or something.
Get your talent on my show and on my network. Now, if my show is good enough,
now he's talking to Diallo
and my audience is large enough that you want your talent to be on my network and my show,
CTC.
Why is it I never hear from your advertising people?
Because if you want those black celebrities that Diallo loves on my show,
all of these networks, Lifetime, Bravo, all of these folks advertise all over the place. Stars got more black shows, more 50 Cent shows than anybody. But I never see their ads. But y'all love trying to send your stars to come on the show. This is what I'm saying. You got to draw the line. And I've drawn the line. I will not allow any black celebrity from Showtime, Hulu, Peacock, HBO, Netflix, Stars, OWN, or any other network to come on this show if they are spending zero money.
Who won't come on that show?
We got 10 grand from Netflix because I called about on Twitter.
10 grand.
That's it. We got $250,000 from Young and Rubicam for the census to put them on blast.
250,000.
250,000. That's my Freedom Scholar money. God damn.
Big bank.
That's what I'm saying. I can't mess it. But this is, before I forget, I want to say again, and shout out to the 100 and some people that found us over here on this stream, y'all. I really appreciate you all. I got to say that again. I appreciate all the social media noise you all been making, folks migrating over here a little bit. I really appreciate that.
Yeah.
And it was good too, because Diallo said he's not coming on if we were getting the same numbers we were getting earlier in the week on the other broadcast. So thank you all.
As per my contract.
As per his contract.
Black Power Media, y'all gotta know, if y'all don't do right by me, I'm telling you, I'm gonna mobilize the people, and we gonna come, and I'm gonna let them know where it's.
That's what he said.
Where are my viewer numbers?
Hey, this dude been divaing all week about this damn band.
It's like I'm not. Yeah. So, but I also wanted to say, and then we can come back to it if you want. But I think we've actually got all the. I mean, he says some more gems in there, but it's so long, and it's already 9:20 already. But and I did want to. I pulled up the report, so I at least give a preliminary showing of it, and then we can all dig into it later for maybe next week or whatever. But I do want to say before I forget, please somebody send me the clip if you find. And this is me being petty. I acknowledge this but with that principled base. Has Dr. Carr done a book review discussion or interview with Josh Myers about Of Black Study yet? Has he done that yet? Because please let me know if you all see that, if anybody sees that, because that to me would be the most egregious sort of turn in this Roland Martin space if that doesn't happen, because they're boys, comrades, colleagues at Howard University, and that book is an HBCU product. And it is whatever maybe its imperfections or disagreements any of us might have. I'm very proud that book. I'm just happy to see that book exists. So anyway, I just wanted to ask that. But thank you very much. Thank you very much.
So we got a couple people who intersect between Roland's show and they like Greg Carr. So is this hating on Roland, or is it just clearly sharing that Roland doesn't own his media, and this is proof, right? And even
I don't know what it's proof of. It's just me being. It could be that. It could be a sign of what I've been arguing is this sort of political shift in Carr's work because of this positioning that I think this in my argument. But I don't know. I just for all the discussions that I think he does, I don't know anymore of books and literature and scholarship. This got to be part of the discussion. That's all. That's all. I don't know. I don't have any. Yeah, that's it.
Well, towards the end, I had no issue with Martin as a business owner trying to negotiate with advertisers or coerce, motivate, seduce advertisers to bring more revenues to his platform. I have a problem with these Black business people trying to articulate or telling the myth that their personal enhancement is either going to result in our collective upliftment or is evidence of our collective upliftment. That's my only problem. I don't, and people think I'm a hater. Like, remember Monique was going to mobilize the Black community against Netflix. And then now she's getting contracts and shit is all good. She ain't spoke to the Black community. Has she spoken on any issues, any recent atrocities? Has she made any outreach or engagement with any issues that's relevant to the masses of Black people? Because when she was having personal problems in her personal career, she wanted to make it a Black issue. She wanted to make it a Black woman's issue. She was like, how they do us, and they can't do us like this. And now that she's got a Netflix special coming, she's got all these contracts with 50 Cent. Now, where's the us? I and me and my career. They do this shit. They kick the ladder every time. They get us to hoist up and hold the ladder. They get up on the ladder, and then they turn around and kick that ladder over. So, and that's my only issue with that. Beyond that, if you can shake down a multinational corporation, if you can shame or seduce a multinational corporation to give you money, get it. But stop with this calling on and acting like this is a collective affront or something that is either a disrespect of the collective or something that on the other side will be an advancement or a win for a collective when it ain't got shit to do with the collective. Let's keep collective business over here and your personal aspirations within the systems and institutions of white hegemony, capitalism, and white domination over there. Stop conflating. Because when those bleed into each other, they hurt us.
But I think with Roland, though, it's hard for it not to bleed in because his business is promoting white hegemony, capitalism, U.S. imperialism, because he's supposed to be a media puppet or media whatever he is. So I think for him, I think it's more than just his business. I think it's his message and his overall agenda. So yeah, I would have tons of problem with Roland, other than his attitude when you meet him in person too. So.
Oh, what do you do?
Yeah. He just an asshole. He really like the way he act on TV. He really believes he's that guy, and like you would have to bow and like yeah. So,
See, this is not a performance.
Nah, that nigga. Yeah. What he say? What he say? What you say?
I don't know why I laughed. I don't know. I just thought that sounded funny.
I said I'm totally different in person.
Oh.
Y'all come over. I'll give y'all some sauteed tofu and organic green tea.
We might be in Chicago soon. I meant to tell you. We might be out there. I don't know. I don't know what the latest is on the family schedule, but it popped up on the possibility. So I was gonna be like, I thought me and you we could go hang out and catch up with T.O.
I got the text.
And we could go to the mosque. We got to go to the mosque.
Which one? I'll go to the Orthodox. I'll go to the Sufi. I'll go to the Orthodox mosque. I ain't trying to go over there to the NOI, to the Mosque Miriam.
They did say they're trying to work on us hosting a show live in Charlotte. So we need to be traveling since we about to be deplatformed. So we might as well hit the road.
If Kalanji would stop posting that explicit material,
working. I know he's just
on Black Power platform. If he would just go, if he stopped, posting his OnlyFans material on the platform.
He keeps messing.
We stop getting confused. Them strikes.
You uploaded to the wrong page.
Right.
Dude.
He needs a second laptop for that content because he
doing it for the gram, man.
Because that is why we got flagged, right?
I don't know, but Kalonji probably come in the chat soon. So you,
all right, yeah, he can't put it. You can't put that stuff on the.
You just said you support black business, and that man going his own business, and you shut his business down right now.
You know, that's all I'm saying. You can't put OnlyFans content on YouTube.
I just wanted to show real quick, just preliminarily, what some of these revenue numbers are that Roland is talking about. This is just some of the ad revenue placement, and it's gone up since it went up in 2021, which is this is the report for 2022. So I guess we get it. I guess they're always like a year behind. They're measuring the last data. The last round of accumulated data, but you could just start to see, and this is just it gets up to closer to anywhere from really closer to $500 billion in total annual revenue that's spent in ads, and he mentions, Roland does, the Omnicom group in that video we were just watching. And, you know, they're one of the primary buyers of ads for the people that hire them to place ads. So I haven't found everything yet, but there was just one other thing I'll share real quick, because I just was downloading the report as we were doing the show here. But here we go again, just some of the numbers. By 2021, worldwide revenue, let's see, ad center, data center, exclusive data. Okay, this is just, okay. Wait, let me get this is the agency report, ad agency. And it looks like they've redesigned it. I used to get this every year, biggest companies and companies and networks. But Omnicom Group, 14.3 billion in worldwide ad purchases just by themselves. WPP of London, 17.6. Publicis out of Paris, 13.9. You know, so you can see, and Procter & Gamble used to be up on this list. Is it? I don't know. Maybe this is, are they not on the top 25 anymore? Or did they redo their, I don't see them on here at all. But Vivendi, anyway, there's just a lot of money. The top 25 total 128 billion. And in ad revenue, in ad spending. So that's just the top 25 groups. So, you know, just showing you how they spend their, you know. So anyway, I have to get more care. I haven't really gotten a chance to really look too much at it, but just this is an idea of some of the numbers. This is what he's talking about, though. This is what Roland Martin's talking about, targeting and trying to get a piece of. So anyway, speaking of peace, while I have this here, Black Alliance for Peace is supporting a march outside the White House on Saturday, March 18th, building opposition to U.S., EU, NATO axis of domination from 1 to 3 p.m., March 18th, Saturday. Go to blackallianceforpeace.com for more information. But if you know, because we had a little bit of a dust up with people on this platform lately, if you weren't part of the rally against the war led by Diallo's good friends on the white right and left, this one, and Anthony Montero, you know, was very upset at me for not supporting it. So there are Black apparently supporters of that as well. But if you want a rally that you maybe are a little more comfortable supporting, here's one for you. March 18th. And it involves the Answer Coalition that Dr. Montero seemed to not have ever heard of, oddly enough. And what does Answer stand for again? Because it has anti-racism is part of isn't that the R in Answer? Wasn't that part of it was like anti-war and racism, right? Isn't that part? Somebody in the chat will know. But anyway, so just that real quick. Anything you two want to get to? I do have that EYL stuff that we can talk a little bit about, because they were talking also about the trickle down Black business, and they've totally misrepresented the McKinsey report again, by the way. But was there anything either you wanted to get to?
No, let's get to the digital divide so we can close this racial wealth gap.
Yeah, I mean,
get everybody.
It's always just very important that we oh damn it. Oh man. Hold on. I put the wrong link on my notes. Let me dig that back out. Hold on a second. My bad. I get sent. Actually, I mean, on some level, I guess it's good. I get sent. There's just so much of this stuff coming nowadays. People send this stuff all the time, and I can't always keep up with all of it. Now I can't find where I put it in our chat. Dag on it. Man, I put the wrong link in the Earn Your Leisure. Here we go. Here we go.
We talking about the Instagram post?
Yeah, because that's what I got sent. This is it right here. From Earn Your Leisure, important information that you won't find in the news. This year, the Biden administration and state governments are spending $65 billion on broadband infrastructure. This is the largest investment in our lifetime.
And this news first broke a year or two ago, right?
Like honestly, I don't even know.
I think it was like a year or two ago, and they're making it sound like it just happened yesterday.
There are 100 HBCUs. They produce 50% of Black engineers, 50% of Black attorneys, and 85% of Black doctors, but 82% of HBCUs exist in broadband deserts. This prevents our students and communities from participating in the digital economy. Half of Black Americans live around 70 HBCUs. Deloitte found that even 10% increase in broadband penetration would have created more than 800,000 new jobs from 2016 to 2019. McKinsey found that closing the broadband gap was one of the solutions that could add more than $300 billion in economic activity among Black consumers. Now, I did look up the Deloitte report, and long story short, they do make these claims, but there's nothing in there that explains how they reached those conclusions. Nope. So it says, they even say and I downloaded the whole report, but it even says in the report, our models, you know, because like I'm sure my guess is the EYL crew just read the headlines and whatever, and the PR release. I actually get the report, but the report says nothing more than in this case, I can't blame Earn Your Leisure because the report says nothing more than the press release, and it just makes a claim that they have models that project to this job increase, but the only reference at all that is not specific to that claim is to the Bureau of Labor Statistics from the U.S. government, which don't make those kinds of wasn't making that kind of an assessment in the first place. So they just make a claim out of nothing. Now, this part from McKinsey is well, I'll show you. Is equally misrepresented. First of all, as I've been talking about more in the second edition of the Buying Power book, McKinsey is not a group that we should be looking for an analysis of the Black economic condition. Their point, again, is to help corporations market their advertising, corporations tailor their own PR messaging to address all this issues around diversity, equity, and inclusion, and so on and so on and so on and so on. And when they make these kinds of statements like this one, we estimate that companies filling these needs could tap into $300 billion of value annually. A, there's no real data to support that. And B, what EYL, Earn Your Leisure, is consistently misrepresenting is that McKinsey is not talking about $300 billion that would go to Black people. What they're talking about is the corporations that satisfy the needs of these Black consumers could expect to make $300 billion more annually themselves, which is, again, a bastardization of the way it's presented. Specifically, when it comes to this issue of broadband, and we can come back to any of the other details to this if anybody wants, but when it comes to the issue of broadband, yeah, there's a number of things. Where's the broadband part, right? Anyway, when it comes to here it is.
And they didn't even mention about the money. No, go ahead.
Well, right, specific to broadband, you're right. They're not making a claim that the 300 billion would come from broadband. The 300 billion, as they say up here earlier, comes from anyone who satisfies this consumer, this untapped consumer market. Nonetheless, companies that interpret this data as proof that there's little profit serving Black consumers are making a big mistake. So they start here by talking about Black people don't have any money. And then they say, but if you have a company that wants to target Black people, don't think that you won't be able to exploit them anymore. And in fact, if you exploit them in certain ways, you can get $300 billion. Of those several ways you can get it, thank you, Geechee, for making that point, you could be involved in food distribution, or the food industry. You could be involved in housing, providing housing to Black renters, or you could be involved in healthcare, because Black Americans are 2.4 times more likely than white Americans to live in a neighborhood with limited healthcare services. So if you can exploit them by putting a little clinic in their community, you'll be good. And if you can provide broadband services to Black Americans in these deserts, in these broadband deserts, you can be, as they say here, one of the companies serving these consumers, therefore therefore need to design digital experiences and interfaces accordingly. In other words, develop marketing and PR that targets Black consumers with your digital experience and product. Same thing with banking. Black people don't have banks. So if you have a bank for them, you can exploit them there as well. So that's the point of this McKinsey data. It is not about, as it is presented often here by Earn Your Leisure and others, as a mechanism for Black people to get their share. As it says, oh, perfectly timed. To get our share, our communities and HBCUs need to submit broadband plans to the government. This year, one plan costs $450,000. 70 community plans cost around $30 million. Congress made money available for broadband plans. We need it deployed to our communities and HBCUs.
So plans meaning giving people access to affordable or free internet.
So I looked up, I didn't catch that it was when it was what year. I thought that this was this year, but maybe you're right, it was last year. But I did look up the BEAD program. I forgot what it was, and it's essentially designed, if you are already situated as a business or a nonprofit or whatever to deliver these products, you can apply for this money. So it is just another way to satisfy or serve Black businesses to the extent that there are any in these spaces, or to encourage Black universities, I suppose, to file for these grants to get that money to those universities. But in either case, it is a one version or a similar version of the same thing, which is money gets distributed to business owners and elite institutions, and it does not get redistributed back to the communities themselves, but it is promoted in order to attract that money to these Black bourgeoisie and elite. It is promoted as something that will be good for the entire community. And that's, going back to the Roland Martin piece, the same kind of hustle that I think all three of us are being critical of. So
right. Well, in the Biden and Harris's White House documents, it was talking about getting access to internet access to HBCUs and communities surrounded. So even if the money went to the school are going to be buying internet from AT&T and Comcast and stuff. So the money's still going to the major corporations, more so even than the small businesses.
Well, because this is what I looked up. And again, I mean, I'm open to be checked on this. This is not my expertise, and I wasn't some deep dive into this, but I did look this up here. And this is the program from the federal government, Broadband Equity Access and Deployment, or BEAD program, $42.45 billion to expand high-speed internet and access by funding, planning, infrastructure deployment, and adoption programs in all 50 states. Infrastructure deployment and adoption programs. When I read those phrases, I read existing businesses, brick and mortar businesses, corporations designed already to provide computing technology, digital technology, internet, whatever, and adoption programs, nonprofits situated to pretend like they're satisfying the needs of a community, but are themselves not. And then it just go, like the asset mapping. This is, to tell you how to fill all this stuff out, what you need to have to be qualified for the funds, a 5-year action plan template. So anyway, I haven't looked at too much of this, but that's how I read it, and perhaps I'm wrong, but it looks like it's and again, it's not something that's designed to benefit the poor working people. It's designed to get people money who pretend that they're doing that work. So, but I could be wrong. But as someone else, I think it was you, Geechee, pointed out, or the person that sent that to me was pointing out jokingly, that they're advocating my argument by, instead of saying, and it's like another version of Roland Martin. Instead of acknowledging the actual economic horrific relationship Black people have and encouraging some sort of revolutionary action to deal with it, the response is, if it's not Black people are the cause of their own poverty, it's here again, we are acknowledging white corporations and the state have to step in to help Black businesses and the Black bourgeoisie do its thing. And that's ultimately been whatever my limited buying power argument has been. If you want to actually address the economic conditions of of people in this country, absent a revolution, you got to go for that GDP. You got to tap into the wealth that we're all helping to create. And that involves political power, organized social movements, et cetera, and so forth. They're just dwindling all of that down to these. So their social movement is to go on Instagram or their own YouTube show and say to Black people, watch me beg for white people. Watch me beg to get stuff for white people. Watch us make appeals to white people to get stuff as a pattern of Black power. But if I say organize a social movement to get political power to make all of this moot, oh, you just trying to do the white man thing. You don't want us to have our own thing. You don't support Black sovereignty in business. Yeah, go ahead.
But it's worse than begging, because if it was just begging, I'd have more respect. A lot of these institutions actually have agendas, short-term and long-term agendas. And a lot of these Black people aren't just begging, but they're saying, allow me to provide the service, allow me to advance your agenda, allow me to take on what you want to do. If it was simply shaking the cup, that's a lot less harmful than Black people giving coverage, giving justification for a lot of insidious corporate and public sector agendas in the Black community. So I wish it did stop at begging, but some of these people do get on, and some of them do perform. They do perform, and they do work to advance a lot of insidious agendas. And not just beyond that, though, I call it directing through deficits, where they'll deny Black people a thing, and Black people will put all our energy and resources into chasing that thing that's denied us without ever saying, do we even need that thing that's denied us? They don't want us to have it, so we gonna get it. Whether it's sitting at a white lunch counter or trying to build up and scramble to build up a bunch of broadband plants and businesses and jumping into that sector, when say, well, really, that particular industry and sector is where we should be targeting our STEM or engineering skills. When you look at the infrastructure and true what's in the interest. So we don't even define our interest. We define our interest as getting whatever white folks tried to keep from us. That's called directing through deficits, where we think we are doing what we want to do for ourselves when we're really just chasing after the carrot they dangled in front of us.
But so I think with Earn Your Leisure, though, like this thing that the post that they had, it looked like it's multiple different things that they're talking about. But I think they're trying to legitimize themselves instead of apologize and acknowledge that they fucked up and they had some grifters on their platform. Now they're gonna redirect their sycophants to something else without even paying attention. Because when I read the first post, I thought they was talking about the Biden's bipartisan infrastructure law, the infrastructure investment, $65 billion investment to expand high-speed internet in communities across the U.S. So getting money wasn't even it didn't even sound like it's on a radar. It seems like that money is provided to people so that they can work from home, so that they can watch shit like Earn Your Leisure, so they can make more money. So the money is not going directly to the people in the first place. And even if they do give them free internet, AT&T can slow the shit down if they want to, right? They can slow it down. They can throttle them. They can give them shitty internet, like
right.
So AT&T will get the pocket. Yeah.
Didn't the Trump administration upend net neutrality?
Well, the FCC,
it doesn't matter the quality of internet infrastructure you have when the corporations, like you said, it's not even your internet to your community. They can scuttle particular sites, and then the algorithm can squeeze out particular sites. So you can have the best, fastest internet, and it still doesn't guarantee you access to quality information or websites.
Mm-hmm. Did they officially overturn net neutrality regulations?
Yeah.
Man, I missed that. How did I miss that?
What, in 2018 you're talking about, or afterwards?
Yeah.
Because I know FCC did some kind of they was against it, but FCC is actually leading the infrastructure that the Biden infrastructure too.
What was that wasn't it that Uncle Tom Indian dude?
Yeah, I mean, I know I used to pay much more attention to it, but I knew that they had that conservative Indian dude in there, but I didn't think that they were able to actually overturn them. But
the Democrats are trying to bring it back to the fore, but net neutrality was upended by the Trump administration.
Yeah, I definitely have to get caught up on that.
Even if we have the highest quality broadband in the Black community, they can just go site by site.
No question, and no question. But my
our access.
But my thing is, I mean, even the BPM ban is more proof of it. Ajit Pai, that's right. Thank you.
It's just the Uncle Tom Indian dude. Y'all be giving these people too.
I think it's perfect. Like I got my Freedom Scholar money, bought a new laptop and mic, and tightened up the internet connection in the house and all this other stuff. And then YouTube said, nah, you out of here for a week. So it don't matter.
Exactly.
It don't matter.
Exactly.
So off of nothing too, by the way. I mean, it's so crazy off of nothing, and no explanation, no detail, nothing. It's wild. Anyway,
so do you think the state is trying to capture the internet back or take the internet back from the corporations?
Net neutrality was restored under Biden. Yeah, I got to get caught up on this.
No, the Supreme Court. No, that case is going to court. Biden has policies, and the Congress has legislation, but the Supreme Court is going to go to the Supreme Court. It hasn't been restored, and it's with the stacked conservative Supreme Court. Talking about elections, we didn't say nothing about the Chicago election.
Oh yeah, talk about your girl.
You want yeah, let's get I mean, I'm good. I mean, let's get to it. I'm just looking at this. Who sent this Black Agenda report story?
No, that one talk about net neutrality, but I think it's in 2018, so I don't know if Diallo got something.
It is 2018. Yeah.
Diallo got something more new. You got
I
something newer than 2018?
I mean, no, man, let them fools have their internet. As long as I still got access to Kalonji OnlyFans / Kalonji on fire, what do I care?
OnlyFans / Kalonji on fire. That joint is what I say, boy.
Yo, I'm telling you. The fact that you broadcasting on Kalonji Facebook page right now, telling his people that, he gonna have to come on defend himself.
Huh? Oh, was it a secret? Then don't be DMing me stuff. If you sending me links and stuff, you gotta tell me whether it's for public or not.
What?
I didn't know this wasn't for public. I mean, y'all be DMing me constantly. I don't know. You go down in the DM. I don't know what I'm supposed to say publicly.
I can't click on that link in the chat.
This guy here is hell.
Oh man. Anyway,
he must be getting some of that Lightfoot money. Diallo getting some of that Lightfoot money. He got some drink.
I wish. I was called to work on one of the campaigns, and then the opponent of this brother who was running for the police oversight, his opponent had done some dirt and had to drop out of the race. So the guy called me. It's like, your services are no longer needed because I'm running unopposed. So this is probably one of the first major municipal elections where I wasn't on no campaigns. I wasn't doing nothing. I was a pure spectator. So, but yeah,
so
Lightfoot.
Yeah, go ahead.
No, yeah, I voted for Brandon Johnson. You know, but what's most concerning? Every single election cycle. Tell me if this happens in your city. Every time there's a local election cycle, there'll be like 110 black candidates. You know, where every other major demographic or ethnic group or racial group will have maybe one, maybe two candidates. And then we got a dozen black candidates to completely dilute the black vote. You know, and in every major city, when I was in Brooklyn, they were doing that. Especially at West Indians, there'll be dozens of black candidates to dilute the vote. So you have these people who have no chance of winning, Kamal Green and Willie Wilson, and they run in every single election. And they'll get 10, 12% of the vote. And if not for these individuals, we'd have more progressive candidates that would have a chance of winning, if not for all these black spoilers jumping into the race. And Chicago is one of the worst cities at doing it. I mean, they did it in Kansas City. They did it when I was living in New York City, but I've never seen it like Chicago. So there was all these black candidates that split up the black vote. And then, you know, other groups, you know, you'll have one white candidate, one Hispanic candidate, and or maybe two Hispanic candidates and a half dozen black candidates. You know. And I've even suggested, you know, when I was working on the last Representative Ford's, his bid to become mayor of Chicago, I'm like, why didn't all the black candidates sit down and just, instead of running dozens of black candidates, why not just come up with one black policy platform and say, whoever's going to advance this policy in office, we just need one candidate and one policy platform, not a dozen candidates with all these pipe dreams and lies they sell us. But anyway, and you know what was curious to me? Only 30% or so, give or take, of the black eligible voters showed up to vote. Only 30%. And then after Lori lost and failed to make it to the runoff, had all these people celebrating her demise when they didn't do anything to contribute to her downfall. That was weird too. But Lori Lightfoot's out, the first one-term mayor in Chicago because I mean, this is a city that be having like 6 terms in office, and it's crazy. And so she's gone, and deservedly. But now we have a racist, a fascist, a corporatist running against a school teacher and a progressive, and a you know, a true social liberal and economic progressive. And so, you know, vote Brandon Johnson, Chicago. Vote Brandon Johnson. Paul Vallis is a scumbag. He's privatized school. He has the endorsement of the police and the North Side. But it's really crazy that we're only getting 30% of the 30% turnout.
Who is Ram telling you to vote for?
Ram is gone. He's in Israel. I think he's over there.
Oh, he's not even around telling people to do stuff anymore?
And sniping Palestinian children. That Zionist scumbag. He's somewhere in a kibbutz shooting at you know, advancing the Zionist genocide against the Palestinians.
No, I just thought he might be sticking around to tell people what they should still do, even in his absence.
No, actually, I think, or did he go to DC?
I don't know. What's the difference? He could do the same thing from wherever he's at.
You know who was here trying to influence the move? Kevin Garnett, the ball chaser. Does he live in Chicago?
Is he from Chicago? I didn't know what idea. What is the Chicago connection?
He was here boosting for Lori.
He actually from South Carolina, but he went up to Chicago. He from South Carolina.
Does he live here now?
I don't know if he's still there. I don't know. I thought I don't know. He'd be on a podcast.
You don't have your little ball chaser database that alerts you to the movements and whereabouts of celebrities?
No, he just came out was like, I support Lori Lightfoot.
It's the Cerebros, Diallo, Celebrity Cerebro, X-Men Cerebros. What is it? What was his name? Professor X? What was it? Where he could find all the mutants?
Yeah, I got the haircut.
There's a celebrity in my area.
But no, Chicago, listen, Chicago is under an ongoing, you know, Obama has ignited, has given rocket fuel to the gentrification and displacement of Black communities. And we do have some ways of stemming this tide. And we got one politician that says, again, Paul Vallis, who wants to unleash the police as if they haven't been unleashed, and wants a tough on crime policy, whereas Brandon Johnson has a more, your favorite word, nuanced approach to addressing the pandemic of crime, the epidemic of crime in Chicago. And one way to address that is by acknowledging there is no massive epidemic of crime. The real problem with crime in Chicago is not that there's much more crime. It's just crime in areas where it shouldn't be.
Jared, did you just disappear?
Chicago and be staying up on the Gold Coast and in the luxury high rise and hotels, they got crime in those areas now. So it's not, Chicago literally has like crime zones where homicides, robberies, and stuff is allowed to happen, and it's expected to happen. And so it's not really a crime problem in Chicago for the elites. It's a crime spillover or a crime in areas that don't belong. So
I had a college buddy who was Baltimore homicide, Baltimore drug cop, and he used to tell me all, and then man, I got to check in, man. They destroyed his career, but not that there's a lot of sympathy for police, but I get it. But he used to tell me all the time that when he was with the drug unit, the expressed rules were keep the dope out of the harbor. Right. It's not and the same thing with the crime. To your point, like
Chicago Police Department has a policy of containing crime. Not solving crime, not preventing crime, not giving resolution or prevent. The Chicago Police Department's policy is contain crime in the allotted areas, the South Side and the Southwest side. And over this in the pandemic area, but what's weird as fuck is that a lot of the criminal element follow this, like. And Chicago's like New York. You got affluent neighborhoods right up against a neighborhood, and they literally have block by block statistics. You go over to Cottage Grove, over there with the University of Chicago and Hyde Park, the places I like to hang out but can't afford to live. Over there, you literally cross the street, and it's homicide in like one block. The statistics. The red lines go all the way up, and you cross the street, and the green lines go up, and the red lines come down. It's crazy where the criminals understand, the predators understand, the gangbangers understand. I remember there were shootings every day in this city, and then a prominent drill rapper got shot on the Gold Coast, and it dominated the news cycle. Everywhere. And it's all they talked about. And they were literally, you go into the schools and talk to the young people, and they were like, it's weird how some deaths matter. Like we see some homicides on the news, and then my cousin gets shot, and it's not even a back page article in the newspaper that nobody reads. So anyway.
I'm sorry to hear that, though. I didn't know that. I am sorry to hear that.
When I first moved here, it was a sister. She moved to Ghana. She just came back. She was like, when I'm taking my kids to school, I'm stepping over bodies. And I'm like, okay, sis, she's an activist, a solid sister, but I'm like, okay, we don't need to hyperbole. Let's just, we got issues, we got things we need to solve, but we don't need all this. And I wasn't taking my kids to school. I was actually going to the gym, taking my kids to the gym. And we were literally stepping over corpses, not stepping over, but like dead bodies strewn in the streets. If you leave your house too early before the meat wagon comes to collect the bodies and the crime scenes are cleared out, you're literally stepping over bodies on the South Side. And at that exact same time, when I moved here, Chicago was in the top 5 safest cities. Top 5 safest cities in the country.
And then you showed up, fucked it all up. That's
well, I think they're still up there. They're still up there. It's neighborhood by neighborhood. So that I'm just saying that's to say how well the police were at containing crime, homicides, violent offenses in a very specific area. And a lot of the criminal element knows if you do your dirt in these specific areas, you'll pretty much act with impunity.
So the places that the high crime there, are they also blight and border houses?
Oh, yeah.
Right. So same thing in Baltimore.
Like a lot of them are empty fields, just burned out in the middle of a dense urban area. You'll drive and see acreages of land that's just been bulldozed and cleared. You head out King Drive. You go south on King Drive or State, Once you pass, you'll literally go from glamour skyscrapers to the opening credits of Good Times within 2 or 3 blocks.
Yeah, same thing in Baltimore. Like some of the buildings, well, some of the areas, the only grass you see is the grass growing out some of the blighted houses, and then you walk 2 blocks and then you in.
Right, because there's not enough entrepreneurialism. That's
You're right. You're right.
Not enough entrepreneurialism. Not enough broadband penetration.
Just as we get ready, and I want to show something real quick on that before we get ready to wrap. But just so folks know, we are on Twitch. I know many of you are watching us there now, but just let folks know that's you can find us on Twitch, and we're going to continue to build out that wing of the work or whatever. So thanks to those again who have found their way over. But I know I'm going to do more with the Twitch side of things, especially after this BPM thing.
Maybe I'll start me a gaming channel.
You should.
But let me say,
you definitely
Trent's
should.
talking about how I ain't gonna let him. Trent's on there talking about how the homicide department, how the Chicago Police Department doesn't solve crime, has a really bad record of clearance and solving crimes. Do you know that look how efficient the CPD was in solving the Jesse Smollett case, the crime of the century? And literally they put more resources into that than they did into to all the homicides combined. They literally dedicated like a dozen detectives, thousands and thousands of man hours investigating the racial assault against Jesse Smollett. And the community was saying that, like, well, damn, y'all got all these resources and all these capabilities of investigating that hate crime, and we got homicides all over the place. So, but yeah, so you can't diss the CPD. Look how well they brought justice to Jesse Smollett.
And they say them two African brothers robbed him or beat him up.
No, Jesse Smollett told the truth. Don't believe that.
Oh,
it was MAGA.
I think that was the same brothers who was beating the Yoruba drums when every time Lori Leftwich get out of that black truck.
You say they beat up Jesse to a rhythm. Yeah, I mean, if I'm gonna get jumped, I'd like to get jumped to a funky rhythm.
That's hilarious.
So they beat that brother like a drum. Man, that is horrible. Geechee.
I should start bringing my FIFA skills to Twitch. Y'all ain't ready. But definitely thanks everybody for checking us out and following us as we move over here. By the way, the BPM thing, I mean the YouTube thing, if I've read it carefully enough, because I admit it's occupied more of my mind than I would like that I'd like to admit. But it says that the strike is good. The ban is for 7 days. The strike lasts 90 days. If we do not get a second strike within that 90 days, I think it resets and we still are on the 3 strikes rule. It only escalates if you get a second strike within that 90-day period, then you get a 2-week ban. And if you get a third strike within that 90-day period, your channel's terminated. I had initially thought the strikes were permanent and accumulated over time, in which case I was sure that, I mean, that alone would assure BPM can't last on YouTube. But I think there is a different level of chance, whatever, I don't know what percentage goes up, if the strike only lasts for that 90-day period. But that's the latest as far as I'm aware of the situation. So I
think I got a solution to not get strike again. Let me see something. All right, Diallo, say something. Okay, yeah, we got that's gonna be our solution right there. Just mute this mug right here.
Never.
Say something
Diallo. Diallo already got it right. The real issue that the channel has to address is Kalanji's OnlyFans page, and I don't know what we're gonna do as a community to truly address that problem, but that's really what it is. If he keeps mis-uploading, we're never gonna survive, as Seal said. But just go ahead.
I can't wait to hear Kalanji come back. Matter of fact, I'm gonna screen record y'all right now on the snitch.
I don't think we want that. I don't want no parts of that. Diallo's joke. Just real quick from
not anymore. It ain't mine no more. You just took ownership.
Nope. December 27th of 2022. Did the death of net neutrality live up to the doomsday predictions? I did a quick scan of this, and so Diallo was correct that they did under Trump and Ajit Pai get rid of net neutrality protections, which basically have given internet service providers the right to do whatever they want in terms of throttling content, preferring content, surveilling content, which is, I'm sure, helping YouTube do its thing. But the flip side is, as they mentioned down here, YouTube actually requires a relationship that it has with AT&T as an internet service provider, which is why YouTube, even despite being a Google company, was traditionally, if I remember correctly, in favor of protecting net neutrality rights so that AT&T couldn't throttle its content in favor of its own content, like Time Warner and HBO Max, on which, by the way, Southside airs, which is, I think, paradoxically, one of the funniest shows on.
It's canceled.
No, they didn't.
Yep.
Bullshit.
Gone. Yep. Enjoy that last season.
Wait a. Stop playing.
No, I love that show, and that dude had the same name as me. Yeah.
Who had the same? Who was named Diallo? Who are you talking about?
The only Diallo in the world. Diallo
Did they
Riddle.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my God. Those mother. All right, I should have known.
But
anyway, so just real quick, there was apparently a report done by someone that according to Northeastern University, ISPs are throttling data. There's a $15 gamer fast lane that you can get. I forgot whose was that. One AT&T's maybe, I think. Real-time locations of consumers can be sold by cell phone companies. That's interesting. And I didn't know that this was a provision that previously had been protected, the real-time location. And Frontier Communications is charging mandatory equipment rental fees, including to consumers who don't rent equipment. So that's good. That's good. The Northeastern University report shows the throttling existed before the repeal of net neutrality, and the gamer fast lane, which as far as I can tell no longer exists, was also in compliance with net neutrality rules. Okay, I didn't know that either. That's interesting. So anyway, just like with the ad revenue report, I got to dig more deeply into this, but the short answer is that unfortunately, once again, Diallo was right. And they did get rid of net neutrality rules, and
Look at that, Diallo. Look how many times. My bad. Look how many times Jared said that you was right. Let me hear you say it. Let me hear you just one time. Let me hear you say, Jared, you was right. Just one time.
Jared was correct in his assertions about my accuracy.
Hey. What? So actually,
fair enough. I'll take it.
All right.
Let me correct something. So earlier when I was talking
nobody's
about
more humble than me.
When I was talking about,
I'm the most absolutely humble. Nobody can do humility as well as I do it. Don't even try.
When I was talking about Kathy Hughes, me and Ricky was talking about Kathy Hughes versus Barbara Walters, their influence, and I was saying Kathy Hughes had more power and access to the black community than Barbara Walters did to the white community. And she made more money. That's what.
More than Barbara Walters did to the white community. Yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah.
Right.
She was.
I think that's right.
Yeah. She was.
I think that's ultimately right. I think you are right. And then the point would be, what is the difference in their content?
Nothing.
That would be my point. But
I wouldn't say that.
Huh?
You wouldn't say that?
You said their content was the same?
Yeah.
What is it? Kathy Hughes?
Yeah. What's the difference?
First of all, Kathy Hughes was out, I guess.
I mean,
ultimately, I can't claim
to
know what Barbara Walters was doing. I thought she was doing like interview journalism or some shit.
No, but I mean, I'm not. So yeah, you could. what I'm saying is the cultural and political content was ultimately the same. So Barbara Walters may have been doing white styled interviews, and Kathy Hughes presiding over Black radio predominantly, and then Black TV for a time at least.
Was Barbara Walters an owner?
No, that's not what I'm saying. No, what I'm talking about is just in terms of the impact of the content that each presided over producing or contributing to is what I'm saying. I'm not, I don't mean in the exact format or. That's all I meant by that.
I can't claim to know that much about Barbara.
Both of their work came to the same conclusion.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't like you tuned into Radio 1 and got some alternative universe of certainly not music. I mean, we used to do, I mean, comparisons, side-by-side comparisons, particularly of the playlists of Kathy Hughes Radio 1's Black targeting radio versus the commercial white-owned Black targeting radio, or white targeting white audiences that like Black music. And it was all the same, literally the same playlist, because it's not up to them, was my point. It's not, we even had a clip. I even used to have a video clip. Oh, damn. Years ago, we had an interview with the program director at 92Q in Baltimore, which was Radio 1. And we had him on tape. He didn't, how did it go? He didn't exactly say, he wouldn't exactly admit to payola, but he, in an indirect way, acknowledged that the playlist creation was not up to him. That was the point of the clip, and why I was so happy we got it. And the way and in fact, I remember Leah was her name. It wasn't Boggs, unfortunately, but a sister that was a student of mine at Morgan at the time. And part of her project, I said, if you can get this interview, see if you can get it. And she got the interview, and I gave her, in addition to questions she wanted to ask, I said, just add these 3, I think, questions into the mix of questions and see what he says. And one of them was about payola. And I forgot exactly how he did it, but it was like this, almost as close to a gotcha moment as I've ever been involved with. And he was like, man. Anyway, the point was the 3 distributors, UMG, Sony, and Warner, they determined the playlists, basically. So my man, look at that there. Among the baddest DJs on the planet. One of the best brothers I've ever met, just good people. Shout out to DJ RBI, man. DC, DMV's finest, and just a great brother, man. Big shout out to DJ RBI. Thanks for tuning in, catching us, So anyway, so that was it. That was my whole point about Kathy Hughes and all that. We good? Anything you all want to let us know about? Diallo, you gonna be back on Wednesday, whether it's just on Twitch or YouTube or
I'll be back Wednesday. I'll figure it out. But can I do next Wednesday? Because I missed the last Wednesday because I didn't find out about the ban until I tried to go live.
So I
didn't see that email.
So the only thing you would have to do is when you go into StreamYard, you just select the destinations, and then select and just take YouTube off.
Yeah.
And then we had and again, shout out to Erica, because I was like, well, we'll just broadcast to my other YouTube channel. And then she found that caption and was like, nah. Well, they have a specific like fine print, at the bottom of the page comment, like, you cannot circumvent this ban by putting your stuff on another YouTube channel.
That's what Geechee told me to do.
Yeah.
That's what the email told us to do.
I called you like, what's going on,
man? No. First of all,
I had initially said that.
I read the email. You didn't. How about
I did. No, Diallo doesn't read the emails. We have to, because what I didn't have the time to book it, because we're supposed to send by helicopter delivered courier to Chicago messages that are delivered by specific white gloved courier who has to deliver the message to Diallo
with the vegan latte. With a vegan latte.
But I called you. I called Kalanchi. And the only person that picked up their phone was Geechee.
Because I'm in class on Wednesday. I'm working one of my 14 jobs. I'm teaching one of my 7,000 classes. I'm an HBCU professor. I gotta actually be in class. I got classes.
But what I need y'all to catch it. What I need y'all to catch. Wait.
Turn it over to your TA, man. Let your TA teach you classes while you relax in your office, smoking a pipe in a tweed jacket, man. You ain't professor.
I'm muting people. I'm gonna need y'all to catch this. So first of all, he threw me under the bus. Before that, he praised me. No, after that, he praised me for the only one answering his call. So I'm the person who answered the call. I talked this dude off the ledge. We talking about Suge Knight and what do you call it? Tupac and Vanilla Ice. But now he gonna throw me under the bus. Okay, now you may talk.
No, Geechee was like, man, forget BPM. Just go on Bro Diallo page. And then I was like, I don't want to do that because I don't want them to Suge Knight me. You know, if you go and got exclusivity contract, I don't want them to send the goons. And so he was just giving me all sorts of bad advice.
Now that technically you should have been fine to do. Your YouTube channel.
Technically, see how they talk, see how you using that.
Well, I don't know.
Then behind the scenes.
I don't know how these fools get down, man.
Nobody that's telling the truth use the word technically.
Hey, next time
that comes after technically is not the truth.
Diallo,
yes.
Next time I'm gonna send you to my 90s voicemail, and you're gonna hear Master P in the background when I'm saying, "Yo, this your boy Geechee. I'm not here right now, but
I'm out here selling Snoop cereal in the future. I don't even know what's gonna happen, but I know in the future.
We got products on deck. We got products on deck. This is Snoop. These are Snoop Nature's Path. So. Products on that. Whatever y'all need, we got it. We got Snoop walnuts.
That's unprofessional. Be sitting there eating in the middle of the show.
I don't care. I'm working for Snoop now. I got money.
Oh, gangster.
I know where the money resides now. I don't know what y'all talking about. Shit.
He gonna be popping up on Roland Martin next.
Y'all just mad because y'all broke. I don't know what to tell y'all. If y'all want to come over to Snoop Dogg and Brothers Foods. You want somebody. Look, we got drinks and everything. We got some.
Aren't they like owned by Post?
No, they have a brand. They have 3 cereal lines under Post, which makes it even more stupid.
Wait, are you serious? I didn't even.
Yes, Post is that's Post. Not the top 2 cereal brands, but Post, the third in the country, in the world.
So it's like when you have a record label under Interscope.
It's like an imprint deal.
Okay. All right. Yeah. So that's what they're used to.
Yeah.
Is it black on the surface? Who cares about behind the boardroom? Who cares about the boardroom?
That's the new.
Is it black on the surface?
Black on the surface. That's what I'm talking about. That's all we need. Black on the surface.
When I look at the surface, do I see black? Is it chocolate coated? I don't care what's under the chocolate coating.
Who cares what's under?
Yeah, man. Yeah. The CEO is black.
Then leave it alone.
And the baggers are black. The people who bagging the cereal, they black too.
Oh. Diallo only looks at his Oreos top down. He don't even see the white filling. He just straight top down. It's black. That's it. That's all I need.
Oreos are vegan. I only get to eat Oreos.
They are vegan.
On Halloween.
They are vegan.
I only get to eat them once a year on Halloween because my wife said they got GMOs.
They do got GMOs, but you look like the vegan who scraped the right off. Yeah, they do. But you don't eat the cream, do you? You just scrape it off, don't you?
I turn double stuff into quadruple stuff.
Oh.
So yeah. I don't play, man. You can't live my life, man. You can't go as hard as me.
You like the iced tea white.
Don't come around. Boy, hey, yo. You can't go as hard as I go. Just stay in your comfortable lane with your organics and all that.
Hey, but first of all,
every Halloween I get me a package of Oreos.
Look, I made an announcement earlier in the chat saying give me congratulations. I'm the new community engagement specialist for Brothers Foods. So I'm gonna need y'all to tell me congratulations.
Is that true? Or are you like, because I just heard Dr. Ball like describe an episode of the Wire like he lived it. And now you over here pretending you part of Brothers Food.
Bro, man, I just got signed this morning, man.
I don't know what's real anymore. Y'all gotta I can't tell.
Look,
he's looking shocked.
Oh no, The Wire. Oh no, The Wire. No, I only hear stories.
Dr. Ball's like, yeah, I knew this Baltimore detective.
No,
right?
I
did.
did.
He was up on this kingpin, right? And so they wouldn't let him get The Wire, so he went behind and circumvented. But I'm like, this dude is describing The Wire, and he's not gonna
when I get him to tell his story, no, I only hear but I hear the stories of The Wire out here in Howard County. So I wasn't there. He told me the stories when he was out here. Okay. And now he was man, that's wild, man. He was actually in and it's one day I got to get him to tell his story.
I've watched the series all the way through more than once. So
damn, that's messed up. That's messed up. That's
what?
Messed up.
It's cool. Well, he's a CEO or he working for Brody's Food. You living The Wire in real life. I don't know. I can't keep up. Y'all on the East Coast. I'm here in the Midwest, in God's the buckle of the Bible Belt. So I don't really know what's going on in the fast lane.
You just mad you gotta roll around with T.O. while we signing big deals. That's all.
T.O. ain't called me back yet. He's too busy. I don't know, keeping the gangs in check. I don't want to disturb his most important work.
T.O. down there stopping the violence because left foot couldn't get it done. So
don't bother with me.
Oh, this is the announcement of the super group.
Yeah, they ain't put me in this. They ain't put me in this article yet. They're gonna put me in the next one. I'll be in the next one.
Broadest Foods with post-consumer brands on Snoop cereal. Okay, so it is, yeah.
Yeah, hey, you know what? That's leveling up because promoting gangsterism, that only kills how many black people? The number one killers of black people is chronic disease that is tied to diet. So
this looks really healthy too.
Now this is the most gangster shit he's ever done.
Frosted Drizzlers.
He ain't gonna just shoot you down. He gonna take your foot with sugar diabetes. He's gonna clog your arteries. He's gonna take you down slow and painful. So, I don't know. Let's look at the ingredients because real talk, the actual ingredients in wrap snacks look pretty good quality. So
I agree, man. Y'all just hating. Yeah, y'all just haters, man. We ain't never gonna make it. He giving y'all opportunities and y'all just hating.
What opportunities? Well, he gave you an opportunity.
Yeah, but you get it through me, vicariously through me, trickle down.
Why not put Snoop on the damn box? And what makes them think kids give a damn? That's like us as kids eating Luther Vandross cereal. Why not get a modern celebrity to front your child product? Like,
bro, it's an imprint deal.
What little kid? Like my kids don't know who Snoop is. They as a they don't. I don't understand.
Oh wow, Snoop, what is it? Mama Snoop pancake mix?
Look, is this for? Why making a children's cereal with an artist that was popping 30 years ago?
Hey, you gotta have products, man.
Sharing is caring.
I don't understand the appeal of Snoop.
Hey, man.
That's like a couple of years ago. I saw Erykah Badu doing a surprise visit at a middle school. And the kids are looking up like, who is this lady? And she's walking in there like everybody was supposed to just bum rush her. I mean.
But how do you see where? I still haven't seen where I could read the ingredients or see the sugar. Because we always had the rule of the 5 grams of sugar rule for foods and cereals. So it had to be, I think, 5 or 3 grams or below.
What the thing said about the K9, they got cop dogs on the cereal. Don't worry about the sugar, man. Don't worry about the sugar.
I don't think.
So y'all already
still don't understand the appeal of this campaign. Why Snoop?
I mean, he's a famous brand. I mean,
to children, to the kind of kids that will eat this shit.
Well, to the parents that would buy it for their kids to eat.
And the name.
Yeah, Snoop but Dogg, then again, like I said,
the name Snoop Dogg still rings bells now. People still.
If my mom, when I was a kid, brought me some Nat King Cole cereal because she like that, I'm gonna be like, what is this? Why not put a celebrity that's contemporary to like Little Uzi Vert flakes or something?
You eat some Michael Jackson. You eat some Michael Jackson pop, so don't even front.
Well, Michael Jackson transcended. He didn't,
That's what Snoop doing right now. Snoop is out.
No,
Snoop is the rap version of Michael Jackson.
What's Snoop's last album?
It don't matter.
Exactly.
He like Master P. He's out of the music industry. He's about making products.
Y'all so they're saying, grandparents, you gonna buy your child Snoop cereal because of your nostalgia for Snoop instead of giving them what they recognize or what they're into.
I guess
why
I don't know.
Black lady, why they had that black lady look like? Why they had her looking like the Queen of England on that picture? That black. That's a church hat. That's a crown from that's a Sunday crown. We ain't had them kind of church hats. I'm just saying, Master P obviously knows business better than me. I'm not even criticizing. I'm just trying to understand. It's just like seems like Snoop is the last name you would associate with children's cereal because he's not really a children's character. And then they got those weird characters that have nothing to do with who Snoop is. Just random cartoonish characters who don't even, what if you got Frosty the Pimp or the Fruit Loop Pimp or the Fruit Lip Gangster, Fruit Loop Shoots or something that somehow ties into who Snoop is. It's the weirdest shit. It's just random as hell. But like I said, who am I to tell Master P how to do business? Who am I? I don't know. It's just weird to me. When I get my kids shit, I try to get them shit they're into and shit that's from their generation. I don't really buy them stuff that I like. If it's something I like, I'm getting it for my damn self. But I'm probably not the best parent, I guess. Don Magic Wand Pops. I just got cane pops. I got no limit product. I was just like, if I was able to sign, if I had money to hire Snoop to endorse my product, it would be gangster, it would be pimp, it'd at least be hip hop related. I mean, I don't understand. That's what the 19 crimes for. They treating Snoop exactly. That makes more sense. They trying to treat Snoop like he's Captain Kangaroo or something. I don't understand. He's not Barney. But again, anybody that understands that, explain it to me because I'm not even criticizing. I'm just seeking understanding. I'm confused as hell.
Yeah, I honestly don't know. I don't know.
Maybe you got to blame the rap snacks dude, man. James Lindsay. You got to blame him. He opening the lane for everybody. Snacks makes sense to me. They're using contemporary artists. Like, who is out here eating these cheesy chips and red hot chips and these Cool Ranch? It's teenagers. It's between 15 to 25. So the artists they put on them chips, I ain't seen Luther Vandross on no rap snacks. I ain't even seen Curtis Blow on no rap snacks. It's Lil Baby. It's who? That was Master P idea. That was Master P idea. It's Migos, but like they don't put they put the artist on the bag of chips that relate to the children. Diallo, the demographic. Diallo, Master P just became the CEO, so give him time and he'll advise Snoop to do the right thing. He's a marketing genius. That group, the Wiggles? No. Mm-hmm. No. You don't have children.
You don't have children. Yeah, he don't know
none of the corny. I can see putting the Wiggles on some damn cereal. Baby Shark cereal makes sense to me. Snoop cereal, and then you're like, "Oh, mommy, these are good." Who is Snoop? Oh, he's a gangster rapper who later went into pornography, and now he's co-hosting a show with this fella named Marlo. That's who Snoop. Wait, your child gonna look up Snoop on the internet? Like my mom bought me Snoop cereal. Well, you go Google Snoop, and Snoop pornography comes up on the damn screen. He got Little League football teams. You forgot about that.
I think in football. I think he's a little more ubiquitous than maybe we realize.
He is.
Pretty good job of rebranding himself.
I'm gonna ask when my son's at school, when he get home, I'm gonna say, do you know who Snoop is? And if he does know who Snoop is, I'm gonna ask him how he knows Snoop.
Yeah, that's what
I know. When I ask
my daughters know who Snoop is because of his rap career. In the same way they know who Ice Cube is, but not because of the rap career. They're like when
they know Ice Cube
watching NWA, they were like, "Oh, that's a dude from the kindergarten, the kids movies." It was like, he's a rapper.
Exactly. That's the same thing with Ice-T. My son was like, "Oh, Ice-T, that dude that's on that cop show."
Right.
Well,
I'm
Snoop
like,
is
no,
an actor.
Ice-T's a cop killer. What?
No.
What?
He's a Coco.
He sung a song once.
Yeah.
And
Come
then
on,
corrected himself.
Listen, you're a little bit too far. You're going too left.
I'm just saying. I'm just trying to comprehend.
And then he corrected himself. And he's been playing again. I have only seen him play one non-cop role, and it was in the movie with Rutger Hauer where he was getting.
You don't
hunted.
understand the fourth dimensional chess.
Diallo
is Snoop.
Listen,
Diallo lost. Door. He is infiltrating propaganda and flipping propaganda on his head.
I'm gonna have to mute him again. Diallo lost. He lost a battle in the group chat. He talked about Ice-T is the best rapper on the West Coast. Y'all in the chat can name at least 9 rappers from the West Coast better than him right now. By the way, just start doing it. Just rank 9 rappers from the West Coast that's better than Ice-T. Jared, you start, and then the chat gonna come. I already put E40 on the map.
Oh, first of all, Medusa.
Thank you for proving my point. Thank you.
Raskaz,
man. Raskaz, he got one decent album, and then he
Planet Asia.
He don't have a catalog. Planet Asia is going underground. You digging? You're not even digging in the crates. You digging in the backyard. It's obscure. Don't know nobody knows who Planet Asia is. Name a Planet Asia song.
Would I say Tone Loc is better than
Young MC, Ice-T?
Yeah, okay. Everybody being funny. Okay, the bass guy might come close. Oh my God, bass guy.
I mean,
maybe Diallo, the bass guy.
Diallo, you said you were the man of the people, and the people decided that you were wrong.
People being funny. They got a little B in there.
Yeah, evidence of dilated peoples in them. Yeah.
What? AC alone again.
AC alone. Come on now.
Again. AC alone came with Freestyle Fellowship. He needed 50 other rappers to sound halfway decent. Decent. Oh, Dale. Okay.
Come on, man.
Now I'll give it to Dale and Hyro. But here's the thing. Y'all jumping generations now. I'm talking about Ice-T is the
no. You said the best of all time. No. You said best.
Did I say of all time?
You sure did. Want me to pull up?
Okay. The Hyro crew, the Hyro and Dale. I give it to you, and Boots Riley from the Coup, but they from a different generation. That's a different lane. I'm talking about in terms of legendary status.
I'm with Sugar Shane on this one.
Oh wow!
The only one who I would not put over him is Too Short.
Oh wow!
I mean, he can't rap better than him, but Too Short got more hits than him though. Wow. No club hits.
Wow.
He got real club hits.
My man RBI coming in with the
Thank
knowledge.
you. Now that's a music connoisseur. This is a brother who's in the music industry.
Thank you. A nightmare walking,
close. King of my jungle, just a gangster, stalking, living life like a firecracker, quick as my fuse. Boy, let me tell you something.
I don't know.
Respect your elders, Geechee. That's the problem. That's why we can't get nowhere. Young people come and think they know stuff.
He's too young and too short.
Hey, speaking of Too Short, hey, the dude be speaking. He be talking over beats, yo. Sometimes he just don't be. Ice-T, that video I sent you, he was talking over the beat.
What song was that?
I don't know about him being a gangster. I'm so gangster. I'm cold.
Ice-T was a conscious rapper. He was not a gangster rapper. His gangster raps were cautionary tales.
He was conscious of what?
He said he was conscious of being from New Jersey and not really coming up in gangs. That's what he was conscious of.
Listen, that's Tupac. Y'all West Coast people are kind of sad. It's kind of sad how y'all be like, oh, Tupac, Ice-T, they from the East. Let them go. Let them go. Stop.
So from the East Coast
cats are pathetic with that. Trying to.
So if Snoop
you just mad because nobody's from Chicago,
right? Except Kanye.
Common. Add to.
Common don't count.
No ID. Half the East Coast rappers wouldn't be hitting if it wasn't for No ID.
Oh wow. Really?
Hey, if Snoop and Ice-T battle right now in Snoop Prime, who winning?
Ice-T would rip Snoop.
No.
He would rip Snoop and his homoerotic rhymes.
Wadi, please understand, I'm not trying to go for facts. I'm trying to take shots at Diallo. This isn't my truth thoughts about Chicago.
I'm bulletproof. I'm Teflon. Let me tell you. About, I go off the facts.
You like Lil Durk too? You like Lil Durk, Diallo? Lil Durk, that's the best y'all got. Lil Durk, that's the best y'all got. In Chicago?
Durk is an Atlanta rapper.
Oh, I thought he from Chicago.
That don't matter where you're from. It ain't where you're from. It's where you're at.
Where you at.
Don't you listen to it? You young buck. You whippersnapper.
You don't know Rakim
try to come
like
from
that.
me.
He ain't no Chicago rapper. Oh, I thought
Durk, it ain't where you from. It's where you at. Where is he at?
I don't know where the boy at. I don't follow him.
He
but I thought he was...
Oh,
okay.
I think this is my response to that too. I'm with Sugar Shan on this one too.
Oh my God. Snoop's raps are so elementary and empty. Snoop is an entertainer.
Crucial Conflict.
Ice-T is an MC.
Wait, they're from Chicago? I thought they're from Ohio.
Mm-hmm.
I like that one song. Hey, that's all I know from them.
Hey.
That's all I know from them.
They was tight.
Y'all like Snoop because Snoop had like major corporate push. He had major exposure. He's a goddamn Disney princess.
So that's why I just showed it to my students in class Wednesday night. That was the best part for me of the recent Cannabis interview with Math Hoffa, where he broke down what happened with him and Eminem. And he was asked, how come you didn't properly respond when Eminem called you out? And he said, you can't go up against this man who was a talented rapper and $1 billion corporation.
I'm about to pull that up right now.
Hey, listen, don't ever say Cannabis name around me. After he made the worst, most disgusting hip hop song of all time ever made. You find me a hip hop song that's worse than Draft Me.
Oh, wow.
I want to jump in a Humvee and murder those monkeys.
Oh, wow.
Is that what
he said?
Fight for
my country. Jump in a Humvee and murder those monkeys.
No.
Go play the damn song.
No.
Go play. Go look up Draft Me by Cannabis. His name should be stricken. He who shall not be named.
Oh, no.
And I'm personally hurt because I took his side when he was going against LL. So
hold on.
He shall not be. I want to jump in a Humvee, fight for my country, and murder those monkeys.
He said murder you on your mattress? Was that's a Fred Hampton?
This is a song.
For press use only.
So
I want to fight for my country, jump in a Humvee, and murder those monkeys.
But it did sound like there for a second.
I never listened to him, to be honest.
I never listened to that before, but that was. I've listened to Cannabis before.
I only heard him on the little battle rap.
I on the horn called Minister Farrakhan. So
that's it. That's all I know.
Persuade me to squash it. Yeah,
that's all.
What his album was.
I want to fight. Yeah, he did.
I punch you in your chest so hard your shoulders will touch. What?
Yeah, it's not very. I'm just trying to look at the lyrics real quick, but he done. Oh man!
And after that song, he actually enlisted in the military to go fight.
Yeah, he did. Now that he did. Now that I knew.
In the war against terror, advocating for global atrocities by the U.S. empire. So, as I said, please don't.
That's the one clip of the Math Hoffa interview that I haven't watched yet. The title just came out. It said, "Why Cannabis joined the army."
So he can jump in a Humvee. I can tell you ain't got to watch it.
Well, yeah,
he said it already. He wanted to jump in a Humvee, fight for his country, and murder monkeys, i.e., black and brown people.
The point that I brought him up for, the clip I had watched, was where he explained how the industry supported suppressing competition to Eminem, which was just bars for me. But this, I had never heard this track before. This was disturbing. I'm not gonna front. That was disturbing. But yeah, anyway. I don't know what to say. What can I say?
Please.
I don't know what to say.
Yeah.
I gotta once
and
again
if you really
say
Diallo go down
was
this
right.
rabbit hole of shitty hip hop, the Cosnerati.
Who?
Bill Cosby's rap group. Bill Cosby put out executive produced a rap album that was themed around his ideas about black respectability and black upliftment.
Are you serious? I missed this too.
Also, like the hip hop Illuminati, but instead of Illuminati, it was the Cosnerati. A whole album. I'll take you there. It's some horrors. I got horror stories. I got a hip hop horror stories. I could write a whole book on just horror stories within the hip hop, man.
Oh my God. Kaz Narati, State of Emergency.
And listen to those songs. You want to hear some shit worse than Draft Me? Cooning on Wax. That's what he should have called it.
He rapping about his I Spy days.
Cosby, he hired artists to write songs based on his ideology and his value system.
Wow.
And so they were the Cosnerati. They were the Bill Cosby Illuminati. They were conspiring to uplift the black race against our will. We wanted to keep our pants sagging, and we wanted to keep talking Ebola and keep doing drugs. So he was going to come. Cosby wanted to come speak to the black masses in our own language. And, you know, I was listening to that album and I got drowsy. I started to, you know, it's like a auditory roofie. It make you want to just shut your brain down.
That's a puns intended. I'm gonna give you that one.
Yeah, the Cosnerati. Yeah, it's like, yeah.
No, I'm saying that Bill Cosby would create a roofie like soundtrack.
Yes, listen to it. Go get the album. I had to.
I'm looking it up now. I'm trying to find a version that I could.
Hey,
I could
matter of fact, somebody said something about because we did say we was gonna have an episode talking about lyrics one day. So somebody suggested that you bring up these songs.
Did we?
On the heart,
yeah.
The worst.
Remember we was
10 worst hip hop songs.
Remember we was arguing about lyrics and saying something about like who got good lyrics and blah blah blah. Maybe we should have a episode about lyrics.
I actually don't remember, but I'm down for that.
It was a while ago. It was a minute ago.
Wait a minute. Is this? Wait a second. Is that? Did he have CL Smooth on this album?
Hey, remember Cosby? This is before he got exposed as the Predator. He had money. He had the one dude from Ultramagnetic MCs. He had Queen Afua's son on there.
Oh my God.
Hey, how are you doing?
Oh, that's not CL Smooth. I thought in the picture it looked like
that's
CL
the guy
Smooth.
from Stetsasonic.
What's this dude, a Native American right here?
That's Supernova Slum. He also went to the military. He was a hip-hop medicine man, live from Afghanistan. He was in Afghanistan fighting for the U.S. empire and teaching people how to make blood-cleansing smoothies. This is a mad world. I can't keep up. Hear that? Put you to sleep. No sagging pants.
Something happened coming up. Life will never be the same. See the vision for your future, but you never see it change. Double part lifestyle. The streets got you blocked in. Scholarship for football, so failure's not an option. Warning comes before destruction, so you gotta make a choice. Warning comes before destruction, so you gotta make a choice. Said it twice.
Scholarship for football, so begging is not an option.
All it took was one shot. Change for the better now. Evidence was never found. Crime rate is
this is probably the best song on the album. It goes downhill from here.
Wow. I never even heard of this.
Because you ain't hip hop. You ain't in the streets like I am.
Clearly, I know.
Hey, you ain't gonna do Project Pat like that. Project Pat flow way better than that.
Right.
Don't do Project like that. What he supposed to be like? Busy Bone?
He's a Crip blood, Native American, holistic health, shaman, medicine man. You should look up Supernova Slime. Get your colon cleaned out.
He the brother that make it for Bone Thugs and Harmony.
Blood cleanse. He's the spiritual advisor to Queen Afua.
Are you serious?
Yeah, man. You don't know hip hop. Y'all not hip. Y'all not out here like that.
Damn.
Well, he used to be a poet, a spoken word artist, and he used to do open mics around Brooklyn in the 90s, and then he started rapping.
He's a spiritual advisor, a military vet.
Black native, military imperialist, liberationist, a bodybuilding enthusiast. Yeah, wears many hats with feathers.
Oh, man is getting it on the guitar though. With his teeth, he's Hendrixing.
All right, man. That's a little bit too much there now.
Yeah, well, Cosby came to us. We weren't listening to Cosby, so he came to us to speak to us on our level and the language we can understand, and we still didn't hear him.
So he was Dilberting for us. He did the best he could, and we didn't.
He did it all, and we didn't take it. He put it. Cosby was so desperate to save black people, he put out a rap album.
See, we could have had this instead of Diallo Chicago Drill. Damn, we missed the boat.
Yeah, Asna Roddy. I don't think they ever officially disbanded, so they might make a comeback. Cosby's out of jail. He might get the group back together.
They're gonna go on tour.
He can finance the tour with the money he's gonna make from suing his accusers. Remember, Cosby said he was gonna sue people for defamation. Still waiting.
So this came out in 2009. Wow. I completely missed that entire thing. Yeah. That's crazy. You're right. I'm not hip hop. I take it back. Is RBI still in the audience? Why didn't you put me on, man, back in the day?
I know that's probably still in his rotation.
I think he probably left. He was like, I don't want to be associated with this.
That's what you play when it's time for the party over. Everybody go on, party over.
Draft me. Nah, you got to draft me to clear out the club.
I didn't hear them talk about that in the Math Hoffa interview.
Yeah, y'all be letting people slide. Y'all don't. The black community.
I just didn't know. I honestly didn't know.
Don't like how my people don't know
when that song come on, people start handing out holiday. What you call that place? Waffle House flyers and shit.
I'm not even gonna bring up NASCAR rap.
NASCAR rap.
Yeah, there was in the 90s. NASCAR wanted to play for black dollars. They wanted more black participation in NASCAR and more black buying power in NASCAR, and they started courting some rappers to start putting out NASCAR rap. But they were pretending like it was organic and natural, that these rappers were just really into NASCAR and not that they were being paid by NASCAR to put hip hop and NASCAR together. Yeah. Damn. And there's some NASCAR rappers. So I'm just saying, hip hop has gone places. Like Nas said, hip hop was universal. We took it around the world. So
no, I refuse to have to once again acknowledge any accuracy in Diallo's reporting here. The real story of hip hop and NASCAR's unlikely relationship from March of 2020 in XXL.
Oh, motorsports? Motorsports?
No, not motorsports, just NASCAR, the redneck stuff, the stuff rural America, white America.
No, but they made a song about like motorsports.
Oh yeah. Let me tell you. But this one failed. This one actually failed. This insidious agenda against the black community, I think, failed. You know.
Numerous rappers have attended races over the years. 50 Cent went to 2014 Daytona 500.
Those are paid appearances, but they're supposed to act like they're really into NASCAR. You know.
I don't believe in that. He just likes cars.
Okay, they're paid to publicly associate themselves and influence black people. So I ain't even, but that is not the worst. The NASCAR music. But I'm gonna leave it alone. I'm gonna stop tearing down hip hop. I am a hip hop fan. I was raised on hip hop. I'm a member of the hip hop generation. I'm done airing out hip hop.
Oh wow!
For today.
Hey, you need to change your sub name to Young Guru now. You Young Guru.
Hey, y'all ever been to a NASCAR event?
No.
Go to the Kansas Raceway. Confederate flags.
They loud.
Swastika and Iron Cross tattoos everywhere.
The only car racing that I've been to is
look at that racing stripes
in South Carolina, where we be just racing cars, drag racing.
Well, this is what actually Roland Martin's calling for. This NASCAR industry is literally paying rappers to pretend like they're into NASCAR. They're getting paid to do that. Just like all the rappers going to Dubai and going to United Arab Emirates to ball out, the government, the state, and their tourist agencies are paying them. So you go over there to them.
No, this is natural. It's just a double-sided partnership. We want to grow the sport, and they want to grow their audience.
Yeah, they trying to get.
I know they don't got Megan Thee Stallion over there.
They've been pushing hard. I don't think they've ever succeeded.
11. Oh, this is
Oh, that's another.
Oh, this is something else. Signed record deals with professional athletes. So this is.
Oh wow.
About. I don't know what this is about.
And you sure slowed down in your scrolling. Yeah, I thought you was speeding that up. There you go back.
I mean, don't try to act like
what you talking about. I just wanted to make sure. I just wanted to get the. I just wanted to get the. I don't know what you're talking about. I just wanted to make sure we were reading the headline correctly.
I guess you like me. Your wife don't watch nothing you do online.
Not a goddamn thing.
Yeah. So
what's the word for last week? What was it? The gynocentric? Yeah. Your gynocentrism is showing up today.
Get out!
I forgot how gynocentric I am.
Flash.
Oh man, now I believe this is all authentic.
Oh yeah, he did a NASCAR song.
Who, Bone Crusher?
Yeah.
Is he still making music?
I mean, I think Killer Mike.
Oh, there's my guy
in his career.
That's my guy,
Gilly.
Yeah, $1 million worth of game.
That nigga funny as hell.
I didn't even know he was a rapper.
Oh yeah, he
there you go. Like, yep. See,
I thought he was just a co-host of a podcast spreading economic mythology.
Nah, he used to be the man in Philly.
Cassidy, him and Cassidy got beef. They fighting for King of Philly.
Nah, but Gilly was the one who changed Lil Wayne rap career.
Really?
Once Lil Wayne started rapping differently, Baby hired him a little bit down there.
Are you sure about that? Let me scroll back up here and make sure that you got the right answer. You were right about that. I just want to make sure that we
yeah, we got to review. Got to be thorough in our review of the content.
You know what I mean? No, I mean, back in the day, I was the guy. I only read I read Playboy for the articles, for the interviews.
Yeah. I mean, real talk though.
I mean, real talk. Actually, there was some really good stuff in there, and one that I really do remember in particular was one with this mafia dude that I read back when I was in the Navy, and I remember him saying that he said the mafia, we were never able to rip off an innocent person. I've always remembered that line because he was saying like innocent people don't engage us, so it's people trying to get over that engage us. Anyway, I thought that was
y'all showing y'all class antagonisms. See, because while y'all was doing Playboys, I was with Jet Beauty of the Week.
This is in addition to, not instead of.
What John Henry Clark said: if you go over there, stay over there. You over there, stay over there. I'm over here with the Jet Beauty of the Week. This dude over there with Playboy. Somebody screenshot
Vanessa Williams.
What?
Vanessa, you don't know who that is.
I know who Vanessa Williams is, but she ain't on Jet Beauty.
She played the grandmama on my favorite kids show.
Oh man.
Oh man, that is terrible. I don't even know what that is. I don't even know what that is.
Back in the day.
I don't know what that is. I don't know what Blacktail is.
Yeah, I ain't know what that is either. For real.
I grew up poor. I could just look at the covers, the half covered with the band in the middle, the local 7-Eleven.
I was gonna say leaning over the counter at 7-Eleven.
Again, y'all showing y'all class antagonisms. I had to stay up late for BET Uncut. That's all I got.
I didn't have cable.
I was about to say I didn't even have cable.
So you just outed yourself. You just played yourself. Y'all staying up late for BET. I never had cable. To this day, I don't have cable.
Oh, I can't say never, but we were the last. Yeah.
Y'all ain't steal cable?
I never had cable. To this day, I can't afford cable.
So you ain't steal cable?
Huh?
You don't know how to steal cable?
No. I wasn't connected.
Well, I ain't, but we
you didn't have no stolen cable.
You crazy as hell. Hey, we the other earn your leisure. We the other EYL. So we don't teach you how to. Yeah, we ain't gonna teach you how to steal on this platform.
One dude I knew in the Navy used to steal his cable. That's as close as I ever got. He had the nice little rig outside the because everything used to just be out in the open. And if you particularly like you were saying in lower income communities, everything was just hanging outside on a string and a wire. It was so easy.
You had to know somebody who worked for cable.
Yeah.
No.
You had to.
No, you did not in his setup. No, you had to. No, in his setup, because he just went outside and plugged because the box was on the outside of the apartment complex. So he just went outside and put his wire into someone else's box because the box was on the out. It was something like that. It was not hard at all. It was not. It was not.
I don't know nothing about that.
This was 19. This would have been like 1990, 91.
I don't know nothing.
In Norfolk,
fire
Virginia.
sticks and all that stuff.
You get one of them Y splitters.
Closest I got was
the Y split. Yeah,
get a Y splitter. And keep it moving. Everybody, you got your Y splitter. You got your cable. All right, well, plug in and you on.
And it was basically as long as you don't interfere with someone else's service, nobody either knew or seemed to care. I don't know, but anyway, more power to them. Now you just anyway. All right, good people. So look,
all right,
thanks everybody for coming through. Thanks to the both of you, of course. Yeah, things getting worse, of course.
Yeah, we're just spiraling here.
Yeah, we spiraling. It's time to go.
And they stayed on a long time. They had a whole
stayed on a long time. Yeah. We really appreciate everybody. Thanks for finding us. Make sure you let everybody know that we are on Twitch now, and that's where they can go to get their soda. And and if they need to, you can just just go, help us raise. And tell Geeky. Tell Diallo. And because we are endeavoring to be
the coach's top thought leader.
You know what I mean? So we're doing the best we can. So make sure you
put it in the comments.
If you still can. I don't even know if you can right now. I don't even know. But anyway, thanks everybody. Peace if you want to fight for it, like Fred used to say.